Okay. When last we left you, Blue Hearts, you had come upon the vast cooperative community of Liberty, where your target Gravik Madmane held court. You learned that Gravik had founded this community to give a home to those displaced by society at large, and ruled over it with a heavy hand. Speaking with Gravik, you learned of his fears that more bounty hunters might come to Liberty and harm its people, so he offered to let you decide his fate. In the meantime, he asked for your help in obtaining a special plant growth formula from a nearby precursor ruin that would help alleviate his people's need to engage in banditry. You traveled to the precursor ruins, where you happened upon a number of white-robed figures, all of whom appeared to be under the sway of a serious spell, and had no concern for their own lives. Besting these foes, you made your way deeper into the ruins, where you encountered the undead trio that Medici raised. Robin Farlight introduced their new group as the Remakers, and explained that their masters sought to remake the world into something better. They asked you not to interfere as they obtained something of their own from the ruins, and while Robin and Emmeline went about their work and Donric stood guard, while you waited with the mute undead Goliath, you learned that Verna's mother Kunaya still lived. After the undead trio left with what they sought, you obtained the plant growth formula for Gravik and returned to Liberty. He thanked you for your help and agreed to go along with your decision to take him back to Arcadia. In gratitude, he bequeathed a holy paladin relic to Verna and provided you all with information that those who released him and the others that night worked for figures known as the Wolf and the Vulture. You recognized these codenames as the ones belonging to Verna and Mito's former allies in the war, including Verna's mother. So that is where we pick up, as you once more find yourselves waiting on the balcony outside Gravik's great house, planning your return to Arcadia. The spring winds blow gently across the treetops, and the people here go about their busy lives. While you wait for Gravik to make his final arrangements, Blue Hearts, what do you wish to do?
I have a question for Patrick. Patrick, what's Verna's code name? Like, what's her persona, basically?
Oh, you're on Aka.
Aka will tell you. Aka's been here the whole time.
Hi, Alex.
Hello.
We just started.
Okay.
Well, Mito's would be like a fucking cougar.
It's
or
a
something.
secret.
I'm already. What's going on? I
We
don't remember
just-
what we were doing last time.
We just all I did was the recap.
Okay.
Y'all went to the ruins to get the plant growth formula for Gravik and the people of Liberty. You encountered the undead trio. You learned that Verna's mother was still alive. You retrieved the plant growth formula, brought it back. Gravik agreed to go under his own volition back to Arcadia and turn himself in, and told you all basically that the people who released all the prisoners that night were responding to leaders known as the Wolf and the Vulture, who you knew from previous was Verna's mother and another of Mito and Verna's comrades. So that's basically it. And so now you're all kind of outside of Gravik's great house while he's sort of making arrangements before he leaves. He told you basically probably be an hour or so, and you are all kind of left to your own volition to what you wish to do.
What's Verna doing?
What is Verna doing? If I remember correctly, she was like really out of sorts last time when we stopped.
You are currently okay. You are currently standing around on the balcony of the treetop town, right outside Gravik's great house. He is still within with Kiarl Squirrelbeard, the druid woman, sort of making final arrangements before he leaves. And you all are just sort of hanging around, basically.
And they were asking what Verna's doing. Wait, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, just making. I've been fucking with my sensitivity, so
It cuts out a little bit at the end.
will just remember to speak louder.
Just remember to yell at the end of your sentences.
Just remember to yell at the end of my sentence.
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh man. What it? It's really hard to remember to get back into the headspace after 2 weeks.
Mario showed up.
Mario did not show up. If Mario showed up, he'd be like a gnome in Arcadia. Oh god, I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. I guess what is? I don't know. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
I don't know what I would be doing. Is there something that we were supposed to be doing?
All you were told was that like he would take about an hour to make his final arrangements. I mean, you could do whatever you want. Like you could. There's not really many locales in the town. Like it's basically just a big old commune. But it's up to you.
Um. Uh, uh,
I'm gonna go stand by Varna.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you're expecting me to like do something
no,
specific.
No, no,
it's been
You're
I-
fine.
it's been like
whenever we
2
miss
weeks.
whenever we skip a week, I come back and I'm just like completely blank. I
Yeah.
don't really know how to like. My brain's been so focused on Final Fantasy, and I haven't thought about what was happening. I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to like be
That's
shitty
not
or
your
ruin
fault.
ruin the flow of what's going on. I just
So, I'm just, waiting for us because we're taking him back now, right?
Yep.
yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna stand next to Verna and wait for him to come out.
Okay. I mean, if you want, we can just sort of fast forward. I don't know. Like, I don't know if there's anything you wanted to explore in the town. There's not much to explore, but like, if you wanted to,
I mean, does the town look like they need help with anything? I don't really know if there's anything I could do in an hour.
they're mostly just. I mean, there's a lot of people here, and most of them are either just sort of lounging about in the afternoon sun on the walkways up above, or they're down by the small river that runs through the center of this clearing, washing things or bathing. And there's various like little storehouses and that people are using to store goods and provisions and stuff. And it's mostly just a place for people to live. It's not like a place of trade or business.
Okay.
Like
Do people
there's small farms, people are growing things.
Do people seem happy?
Yeah.
Or like they don't seem like there's no like weird tension. They're just
No.
chilled
They-
out.
This seems like a fairly kind of content community, one that's kind of thrown off the shackles of proper society and are just enjoying. They have very simple needs.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what else I would be going to look for in the town.
All right, you don't have to. I was just providing the option.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the main reason we came here was to see Gravik and then the Druid. So I mean, they're both in one building, so I don't really know what else we would be doing. At least I don't know what I'd be doing anyway.
Well, I don't have anything to do with the other.
And I can't remember like what conversations we had about the story stuff, that like the plot stuff that was dropped last time. I can't remember if
I don't think you did.
at all. We didn't really talk about it.
No, not really. I mean, like Verna mentioned a few things when you all were conversing with Donric. but
we're all aware of who the wolf and the vulture are, right?
yeah, because
Okay.
Donrick mentioned it or wrote it down, basically.
I think he did he tell us directly, or did Vern have to explain it to us?
No,
This is where I'm at
Donrick
it.
was writing it down, and he mentioned their code names.
I couldn't remember if he just said the codenames or if he said who the codenames were.
He said who they were.
Oh, okay.
So, like, when Gravik mentioned those, there was sort of a big light bulb for everybody that there was that connection.
What? You were talking to the whole group.
This is so...
Vern,
Verna, pot, calling the kid.
Verna has no is. Let's take a moment here. Verna has no place calling other people a snitch. She literally reports shit that we do to the fucking military when it would probably be better if she didn't. So you know what? You can take your snitch. You can stuff it. You literally did. There was one time we were like, we found a girl that we don't want the military to find, and Verna's like, I gotta go tell him. And you just did.
Oh my god, I remember that. That was funny.
And then we had to deal with that
Dutch.
shit.
Or
You know,
does?
I can't fucking believe Zaxby's did this to me.
Can't believe it.
I
How could they
drove
do
like
this?
40 minutes to get this and spent $10, and it's very bad. I'm sorry, I'm just very disappointed, and I'll probably have to make even more food from what I have at the house because this was pointless.
I'm
Now
sorry.
I'm angry and mad.
Zaxby's.
If it helps at all, I was imagining Haraith saying that. Like Haraith is just
Yeah,
sitting there.
Hiraeth just had
We're
like,
having a-
really
Hiraeth
shitty, like boneless
Hiraeth just-
barbecue wings, and is really mad that they're just
We-
bad.
No, we gotta
We
leave, guys. This
we
place
just
sucks.
we just agree. We just finally like got this convinced this guy to come back to the city with us to put him back in jail. And Haraith is sitting at a picnic fish eating wings. She's like,
Yeah.
you know what? These wings suck ass.
We have to get back to Arcadia where people know how to make boneless barbecue wings.
You gotta go back to Hulk.
We gotta go. We gotta go now.
Verna's currently dealing with like a crisis of her past over there, like staring into the middle distance. Haraith is just like, these wings suck. God, you guys, I can't express to you enough how much I hate this.
Hiraeth has also been keeping an eye on Verna, just to like see how
Mido's-
she's reacting.
Oh my god.
Mido's been silently standing
Yeah.
next to Verna because that's how they deal with their emotions.
Don't talk about it,
Like
just
a
stare.
couple of cops, like a couple of fucking 80s cops who don't know how to share express themselves, so they sit there and just
Yeah.
smoke and just stare into the ocean.
Yeah.
No, there's no door or anything. You're out on a balcony.
Goff looks at Mido and Verna just like standing next to each other, not doing or saying anything, and he just leans down to Cicely. He's like, "What are they doing?"
Sometimes you just need a
I'm
silent
not
visit.
talking to you.
I'm just saying, out of character,
Oh.
sometimes you just need to stand with someone.
I know, but I was trying to have an interaction. You aren't
Go
saying
ahead.
anything.
My fucking
All
god,
right.
guys. Go on.
Whatever, it's fine. The moment's gone. Unless Red wants to
I'm
respond.
sorry.
Are we waiting?
I think we have to wait for what's the name to be ready to go. Which I mean is pretty generous of us. He's a prisoner and all.
Well, he is the first one who's agreed to come back of his own volition.
I feel a little weird about that, honestly.
Why?
I don't know. I'm usually used
think
to,
he's-
like... God, I don't know what fucking Sissel's accent sounds like. It's been 2 weeks.
It's vaguely European, just
Yeah.
deal with it.
I don't... I mean, I'm mostly used to resistance. So,
Not everyone resists.
I don't
He
know.
did say he had.
He said they
business at the-
would, and he did, so...
I mean, we told him as much if he didn't come along. We would have to get him in a more direct way.
Or somebody else would, but...
I have, it's hard, but I have no reason to believe that he would be plotting something this far along. I think that he really cares about these people's safety.
Can I Are we waiting for him outside a specific room?
Yeah, you're all on the large kind of circular walkway balcony that rings his great house, which is in
Okay,
the
I'm
center
gonna-
of the village.
Peek my head in.
You take a look and you see him sitting at a table talking with the old elven woman, Kiarl Squirrelbeard, the druid, and he seems to be sort of going over things, like handing her some correspondence and some various papers, and just you can kind of overhear little bits and pieces of their conversation. He's trying to make sure she has everything she needs.
I unpeek my head in. And I tell the group that they're just talking about logistics.
Sometimes people just understand what they need to do. Though it is weird, it is quite odd, and how much that we have to deal with that something would happen so easily. I will say that I am pleased that for once we went out here to get one of these people, and one of us didn't nearly die in the process. So maybe just cherish this moment while we have it.
Speaking of moments, this is going to be awkward, but that wolf and the vulture thing. That's, Verna, how are you feeling about it? You think you're gonna be okay?
I put a tentative hand on Verna's shoulder.
I can't remember. Last session, did we learn if Verna's mom was supposedly dead, or did she not say?
You learn that Verna's mom was still alive. I think Verna asked Donric if Kunaya was undead like he is, and he shook his head.
Okay.
Yeah, she's super like that at this point she'd be in her late 90s,
It's old o'clock.
old as balls.
Old as balls o'clock.
I'm assuming that your mother, this sort of organization, this chaos she's weaving now, was not like her before. Okay.
And I put a hand on Ver. Was that the one that I fucked up? This is out of character. I just wanna
Yeah.
make sure. Okay. And Mido kind of slowly drops her hand down.
Well, if she is alive, she's either has quite a healthy lifestyle or something else. Very lucky, maybe. Not many live to be that long with such a lifespan. Especially one working in such dangerous situations all the time. Goff kind of furrows his brow at that and just looks a little bit uncomfortable. Yes, I imagine so.
I mean, hopefully we're not going to have to kill you.
That would be awkward.
To say the least. I mean, I guess at this point we've got nothing much to do but cross that bridge when we get to it, you know?
Hmm.
Seems to be how we live these days, isn't it? One bridge after another. Many burned, few remaining intact.
Better a bridge than a ravine.
Is that how it goes?
I don't know.
I don't think so, but I'll appreciate it. We don't really have any leads on this other than what Dominic told us, right? Like,
Correct.
We basically just know that Verna's mom and someone else this other person was involved, but we can't really go anywhere to find out more. It's basically just like, this problem will probably come to us when it comes to us. We can't really
Yeah, I mean,
So we can go
yeah.
to the library and look up anything
you
about
can't
it.
look up. Yeah, you can't go to the library and just look it up.
Right. So it's just like, this is basically just information that we know, and there's nothing we can do with it yet.
Right.
Well, there's one thing, maybe. Verna, if you like, I could try scrying on her, though I imagine someone working this close to the chest, probably hard to find even with a spell. It'll be hard. I've never met her before, but if you tell me enough about her, I might be able to see where she is. Did you tell me that? Oh, I don't remember. It's been a long time, sorry. If you already said that, then I wouldn't have said that. I can't remember if we talked about scrying or not. Well, I just mean, I don't think I would have, Goff would have said it because I think he probably had that conversation. I just couldn't remember. Tom couldn't remember. Goff would remember. So if it did happen, then Goff didn't say anything. Tom brain bad, Goff brain less bad. Well,
All right. Well, so I'm assuming there's nothing else y'all wish to do, or unless you want to continue this discussion, or we can move forward.
I'm cool moving forward.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you're you're waiting for about an hour. As time goes on, you just sort of like get bored a little bit and just sort of find a little places to sit or lean up against as you're waiting. And after about an hour, you see the curtains of the great house part, and the towering Goliath frame of Goravik Madmane steps out onto the balcony. You notice, first off, he is not wearing his armor. He actually has a long cloak around himself with a hood pulled up. He seems to have like tucked his beard into the cloak as well to just be as little obvious as possible. And he steps forward and he looks toward all of you and he says, "Well, we best be on our way. It's quite a trek to Arcadia."
You bet.
Sizzles. Yeah, it'll be super hard to get there.
Yup.
Lead the way.
Wait a minute. Oh wait, can Sissel teleport today?
Yeah, she has.
What level spell is that?
It's a. I mean, I'm tripping spell points, dude. It's a level
Okay.
5 spell.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it was one of the. Okay,
It just uses components.
Okay.
So
Sorry.
I have to like go and buy
well,
some more every so often.
It's quite a trek from here on foot, maybe, but I think we'll be going a little bit more quickly.
It takes such a long time. You're going to be
Oh,
so
we-
bored.
Oh, we didn't even use Sissel's teleport. We used the thing, the item.
Yeah, but we've already used
So-
that, so
Right. So.
do it the old-fashioned.
Yeah, this was
way.
all same. This was all same day. Like you guys
Right,
left.
yeah,
Arcadia
we
and
did.
picked-
This is probably the most efficient one that we've done. Like, it happened in like less than a half a day or something. And like, it's gone very smoothly.
Sissel
most
just
part.
squats down and starts drawing the circle, and as she does so, she's just like, "Yeah, it's gonna take so long. You're gonna be so bored. You're gonna get so tired. You're
are
gonna
you
get
sure
saddle
you should-
sores."
Are you sure you should do that right here on the bridge?
I mean, do you want me to move? I already started the drawing.
Well, else we're gonna do it in the dirt?
I don't want to get my chalk dirty. That goes in my pockets.
Yeah, come on, Goff.
Are you worried about dirt in your pocket, Sissel? Really?
I mean, it squishes. It's kind of gross.
Isn't that kind of what you're into?
Meanwhile, Gravik is just like watching and listening to all of you, and you could see him growing more and more concerned.
That's kind of your thing, isn't it? Dirt man?
Yes.
Yeah.
Goff puts his fingers into one of his pouches and pulls some dirt out, and a little sprout grows out of it.
Pocket
And he,
dirt.
he puts the dirt on Sissel's shoulder.
Sissel just doesn't move it.
And he
drawing.
dusts his hand and says, "Don't worry, we'll be back very quickly, unless you need more time." Talking to
No, I'm quite fine. I'm just a bit concerned that I'm placing my life into the hands of, well, I have less confidence now, is what I'm saying.
Don't even worry about it. Hold on to your pants and I finish the circle.
Okay. So you finish the circle, and with a whoom sound, the purple portal opens up with the view of the Dapper Snapdragon beyond. Gravik kind of looks at all of you. In there.
That took so
Yep.
long.
I
It was
Very
such
well.
an arduous journey.
And he walks forward and he steps through.
alright, I'll follow behind him.
Yeah.
So you all pass through the portal, and it shuts behind you with a snap, and you are back within the safe confines of the Dapper Snapdragon's basement.
Is Cecil here?
Cecil is in a corner doing his homework.
Okay.
Well,
Hey, good to see you guys.
So, is his lisp thing gotten worse?
I don't fucking know, man. I forgot his voice.
His voice thing, like
all
I
those
feel like
turnips.
it's gotten even more like all these yeah. Didn't he like switch from onions to turnips or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good old Cecil.
Bite
Hello,
those
Yeah, he's on-
onions.
Hey, you guys are back early?
Yeah, you know.
Surprisingly enough.
We
Goth will kind of uncomfortably be like, "Well, Gravik, this is where we spend a lot of our time when we're not traveling. I don't know. I feel this feels weird. You're the first person to agree to come along. So I don't know if I could. What do we do?
I guess we just turn them in. Is that what we do? We just go take them to like detective bowls or something?
Yeah, I suppose.
Well, I mean,
Well,
I guess
I'm-
go follow us.
I am at your mercy.
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
Why do you say it like that's in character, by the way?
He just looks very confused.
Let's
Alright,
just go. Let's just take
let's-
him.
we'll be going to meet with the major, the one who assigned us with tracking folks down. So,
Very well. Lead on.
all right, I guess we'll start heading towards Bowles'
Alright.
place.
Okay. So you all head out of your compound and head across the city, keeping a kind of a tight circle around Gravik. Like, not necessarily like it doesn't seem like he has any intention of fleeing or trying to lose you guys, but nonetheless, you aren't going to take any chances. Eventually, you do make it over to.
Before
What's
we
up?
go inside, as we're walking, as we're getting closer, before we go into where Bowles is, so that I don't have this conversation in front of Bowles procking suspicion, Goff is just going to say, well, I don't want to say this to draw any attention to your community. Hello?
Hello?
Sorry,
Yeah?
for a second my screen went dark. I think it went to sleep mode and I freaked out.
Oh, no.
Anyway, I just wanted to say I appreciate you understanding where we were coming from. It was a very confusing decision to make.
Well, as I said before, liberty is greater than any one man, and I would not put myself above those who I care for.
I can greatly understand. And I don't really know how this system works. I'm not really from here, but this prison, the way that their paperwork, all of these things that they do, I don't really. But I hope that in your lifetime you are able to see it again. I don't know if they will let you out. I don't know how it works, but you seem like you're doing your best.
It's all that a man can do.
And then I'll just kind of awkwardly stop, I guess, and then we'll continue on.
Okay. All right. So ultimately, you make your way into the military headquarters and head over to Bowles' office area. You find him because you only spoke to him this morning, I believe. Still kind of, it's like midday now, and he's just sort of sitting at his desk. A couple of empty mugs of coffee, on there, an ashtray full of cigarettes, and he's just seems to be going over some paperwork. When
It
you
must
enter,
be so boring.
We're walking in.
Yeah.
I'll just do the throat clear thing.
oh, you're back. You need any more information?
No,
Actually,
Hey, check out this information we got you.
I believe that we found one of the men you're looking for.
Hold on a minute. He kind of wheels his chair over to a map, and he points a finger at Arcadia, and then he points a finger down towards the ebony thicket, and then he starts counting on his hand.
You
It's
heard of
been
this-
6 hours.
I finger
You
guns
heard
at him.
You heard of this crazy thing called magic? It's kind of new.
Yeah, I've heard of this kind of crazy thing called magic.
Yeah.
Smartass.
Pretty good at it, yeah.
This is
This is
Gravik.
Gravik Madman.
He
Yes, I'll
says-
gesture to him.
he goes over to a cork board and pulls the bounty down. And he says, I didn't actually expect you to be this quick. I'll have to scrounge some money together.
It's fine. I mean, I don't think we expected it either. But for what it's worth, Gravik, he didn't put up much trouble. He agreed to come along of his own choice, so I don't know what that means here, but...
Yes, I believe that maybe I can assist you with some information about those who broke us out. And
Oh, yes.
you see Balls raising an eyebrow. He says, well, that would be quite appreciated. And you see him lean out the window of his office, and he kind of shouts to a couple of his squadron members to kind of coming and collect the prisoner. See a couple of individuals walk in wearing common soldier outfits. One of them is a dwarven, kind of a stout-looking dwarven man, and the other one's a very gangly-looking elven woman. And they both sort of take their orders from Bowles, and they look up at this towering Goliath that's standing over them, and they pull out. You see one of them pull out a pair of manacles, and then realize they're too small, and then just sort of go out and grab some more appropriately sized ones and come back, and they take him off. So unless there was anything else you wish to say to him before you parted.
I just nod my head and wave.
I'll just put my hand. I guess before he's led away, I'll just put my do a shoulder clap and just kind of nod at him, kind of in a appreciation for his attitude.
Okay, he nods to you and he's led off. You see Balls sort of going through a strong box that is in his desk.
I will, in response to what Verna said, I don't know if this will change anything. He probably won't, but Goff will say, she is right. He may not need those, but I know that you have your procedure or whatever.
Well,
he has been quite cooperative.
Well, I'm not surprised. The Grand Inquisitor has argued on his behalf on more than one occasion. So I'm sure that we can arrange something if he does provide us with some decent information. In the meantime, and he starts sort of going through this strong box, he has a big key and he unlocks his strong box, and you see him pull a pouch out and he starts shoveling platinum coins into it from this strong box. You see him counting, and eventually he wraps it all up and he hands it, slides it across the desk. I believe that should square things.
It's 2,000 gold.
Yeah, 2,000 gold. 2,000 gold in platinum. So it's 200 platinum coins.
I will add it to her gold pile.
Okay. Well, and he looks over at the corkboard and he's, looks like you've tidied things up quite a bit. Only
Yes,
one to
that
go.
was, I think, the most efficient one yet. But I imagine the next will be far from it.
Well, the next one is the one we have the fewest leads on. The trail's kind of gone cold a little bit, so good luck with that one.
Hmm.
Great.
Yes, I think we're going to have to do a little bit more preparation for that one.
Well, like I
Because
said, you're not the
sure.
only ones going for it either. You have,
Was it Bowles or was it Gravik that told us that this last guy might know more about the people?
no,
Didn't we learn that the last guy had some kind of connection to it? Like he was
no.
working with them, or he was a plant or something. I could have sworn this.
Oh
like
yeah,
this,
it was
this,
Bowles. It was Bowles who
this
mentioned that
Furbolg
Yeah.
has something to do with the people that
Bowles,
broke.
Bowles mentioned, that Leoboros might have some connection to the people who broke out
Right.
all the prisoners.
That's what I meant.
But he also mentioned at the time that there were a couple other bounty hunters that were heading after it.
Right.
Who you learned were Aubrey and Olive.
Yeah.
Well, suppose it's best as long as someone gets him. But if we can get some information, we have. Sorry, my brain blanked. If what Gravik has told us so far, I don't know. Hopefully, we can get some more pieces put together.
Well, as I said, any information you can provide on these, whoever broke out these prisoners, is going to be appreciated. We're really in the dark on this one.
Shifty eyes.
Shifty eyes.
Goff just kind of looks at Verna.
Yeah.
Thistle also
You're
looks at
For a
Verna.
moment.
Looking at Verna and seeing exactly how lawful good she is.
Mm-hmm. Everyone in the party looks at Verna.
I mean, Goff doesn't like stare at her. He like glances at her
Thistle
for a
staring.
second. He's not trying to draw attention to the fact that, I mean, maybe someone else is, but oh, the hammer.
Mhm.
Well, he mentioned Goff. I don't know if this is going to count as a deception roll or not. This is up to you, but I'm going to word it how I word it.
Okay.
Well, he mentioned some things, but I'm not from here. I don't really know anything.
Yeah, you're gonna have to make a deception check on that one, buddy.
I don't really I personally didn't understand much of it. I imagine that he will tell you what he knows. He said he would, so.
Alright, you're still gonna have to make a deception check for me.
Wow.
Oh no.
That's an 18 minus 1, 17.
Well, plus your modifier, right? No, that
Oh.
only works on persuasion checks. Or is that all charisma checks? I forget.
Let me check. True mark. Whenever you make a participation in social interaction, it's persuasion specifically.
Okay.
So
So it's
17.
just 17. Alright. Fuck, that one flying off the table.
I mean, I feel like Bowles is going to be pretty good at reading lies, but...
Not this time around.
Wow, Goff managed to lie to Bowles? That's really funny to me.
I rolled a 9.
Oh boy.
So, Bowles
I mean,
kind of looks.
it's a half truth because he really doesn't recognize like the secrecy of the situation. He doesn't really understand. So it's half lie.
Fair enough. So Bowles kind of eyes you up and down. He says, "Well, I'll have to have a long talk with him." So, are you you're staying around a while, or are you planning to head out right away for the final
I
one?
think we need to talk about how we want to handle this next. So I think we'll be here for a day or two at least. But I'll look to the group. I don't know. I suppose it's up. We'll see. Does anyone else have any? I don't know if
But-
we want to go right away, or I don't want to decide for everybody.
Let's see what River has to say.
What? Well, I think if we leave, at the earliest it would be tomorrow. That
Well-
device that Walden gave us, I think, we need to wait for it to work tomorrow as well. And Sissel, if you need to restock on any of your teleportation chalk, I don't know how much you have
I
left.
mean, I've got
but
about
I
40
imagine-
uses left, but
I imagine we're going to be doing a bit of that to cross some of that sea. I don't think Umberly is going to appreciate me being on her ocean if we can avoid it.
do I have
yes.
a teleportation circle for that area? I don't think I
No.
do.
That's why we probably want to use the quantum entangler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Nothing will go wrong.
And then maybe I mean, well, once we leave Bull's office, I'll explain Goff will explain what he's thinking we can do. But
so Bowles just says, "Well, on your own time. Then I mean, you don't work for me, so do what you need to do."
I'm guessing that's the information that's for this Leo Boros is all we have is all you have.
That's correct. So all we know is that the last time he was sighted was heading for Clearwater Port. He boarded a ship. We don't know which one. We don't know if he even used his real name. And that was some months ago. So the trail is sort of gone cold right now. I think your bounty hunting pals might have a lead, but don't quote me on that.
You think we could talk to Aubrey and Olive?
Are they in the city?
Well, I mean, like, send them a message or something.
Oh, yes. Well, I could try.
It's worth a shot.
Do you want me to do that right now?
I mean,
We're kind of standing in the office.
we're
right?
kind of
Maybe we
standing in the office.
Are you saying out loud that we're standing in the office?
Yeah,
to
We are though.
Okay. Which one was the wizard?
That would be Aubrey.
What was she? I'm trying to remember what their personalities were like.
She was very cheerful, but
Okay.
also very insecure. And Olive was more of like the like an adventurous type.
Which one?
Like
Which one
Aubrey,
would I? Sorry, go ahead.
Aubrey was more like a shy kind of
Okay.
personality.
Which one would I remember seem like someone who would be good to ask this kind of question? Does it seem like either one would be fine?
What
or
is
does it
your
seem
question? Oh, I don't know what the
like
question.
asking like the contact could be like, hey, it's us. Like we were looking to help you with this lead.
Either one. Like it's not like they've been strangers. Like they've occasionally stopped into the Dapper Snapdragon over the time skip and like said hello.
Yeah.
They consider you guys like a little bit more than acquaintances.
I'll contact Aubrey.
Okay.
Trying to think of how I'm gonna. I feel like sending is really hard to get this kind of information across because there's so much detail that could go into it. God, does she recognize? She knows who I am, right? But does she ever heard Goff talk before?
Nope.
Okay.
Neither of them have. You started talking after the last time you saw them.
How would she know me then? Like, well, how would I introduce myself?
I don't know.
Like
they know your name, I think. I don't remember. It's been so long. They don't know the Blue Hearts. Like they never heard. I mean, they know the Blue. I mean, you guys. You know what? I'll say the note you sound like because again, they've stopped in during the time skip.
Okay. Okay, I'm trying to think of how I can squeeze in. This is probably gonna require at least like 2 or 3 sending messages. I feel like because it's
Well, keep it simple. You don't have to explain
um,
everything. Or it's not like you don't have to make a phone call when you can do it in person potentially.
Okay, I think I can try and do it. Oh God, Patrick. Okay, I'm gonna send her a message now. Sorry about that.
Okay.
It's gonna go something like, "This is Goff, the big."
I mean,
This-
you know, they
she
know.
knows
You don't
her
have to
hand.
explain. Yeah.
I'll just say, do I even need to say it's me?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'd say that.
this is Goff. Not the Yum is not there. That's me. uh, looking to help with Leoboros. Any direction to that you looking to help with Leoboros. Any information you could give us?
That's a full message.
I don't know what else. I don't want
Okay.
because if I go into any more, it's gonna be like I need to say more, and so
Yeah, that's fine.
start with that, and then if there's more I need to tack on, I can do another message. I'm not doing anything else right now.
Okay. Give me a second. I just have to look something up real quick. I'm just looking something up.
Okay.
Okay. You get a response back after a moment from Aubrey, and she says, we're actually on his tail right now. We could talk about it more. I don't know if he can get here. Actually, we're over in Cragbreaker Citadel, staying at the Somber Giant.
Uh,
That's me, not Goff.
Ooh.
Goff would not react that way about having to go back to his brother's house.
No, Cragbreaker Citadel, I think, is like the entire town.
No, I know, but I just said the house because it was funnier in my mind to
Okay.
say that. calling that fortress a house was just funny to me.
Yeah.
Was that the end of the message?
Yep, that was it.
Okay. Goff is gonna like open his eye and be like, and then sit there and think for a second, and then he's gonna set you sending again.
Okay.
And he's gonna say, "We could get there tomorrow, at the earliest. Will you still be there?"
And after a moment, she says, "Yeah, we should still be here. We're having a little bit of a trouble chartering a ship where we need to go." That's it.
Okay. I guess at this point I'll just use one more and just say, all right. Assuming nothing goes wrong, we should arrive there tomorrow, and we'll meet you at the Somber Giant, and go from there.
Okay, I'll let Olive know.
Okay. So that was, what was that? 15 spell
15
points.
points.
Bang! I hope we don't try to get assassinated before we sleep tonight.
Why would that happen?
I don't know, because shit like that happens for Tomb Mido or Lauren. I don't know who I'm talking to. Whatever.
It's me, Lauren, your friend. I've been in a coma for 3 years.
Please wake up.
Please wake up.
Okay, so after Goff sits there for I don't know how long it takes like what, like 15, 20 seconds for him to do all
Yeah.
that.
Meanwhile, Bol's is looking at all of you like, "Why are you still in my office?" Kind of.
Goff shakes his head. Okay. I communicated with Aubrey. They are actually in the Citadel right now, and I believe in the inn that we stayed at. I told her that we can make it tomorrow, at the earliest. So, is that what we want to do? Shall we go tomorrow, once this device Walden made is ready to be used again?
Sounds good to me.
Do we need to give Do we need to wait any longer? Is there anything else that needs to be done in here?
I mean, we were just here, like, today. What? Wait, how long has it been since we left?
6
Like
hours.
6 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, we would have done it before we left, so not
Okay.
really.
Well,
I mean, we
uh,
do have more money now, or
You
well,
do, but also keep in mind I posted in our Money Matters channel.
Oh.
yeah. I just want an amp, y'all. I don't. No, I'm kidding. I'm
I'm
making
just
a
letting.
humorous joke about how
That's fine, but also I'll let you know that
our
you got to pay about like you can take a look, but basically I tallied up the cost of the last months, and also be aware that upgrading all your guards as you have has made things extremely expensive on a monthly basis. So you may need to consider new ways of making money.
So we
Time to open a strip
Time to
club.
get a day
Total-
job.
total owed to date 5,260. Is that the next payment for the whole thing?
That's the payment for the 3 months of the time skip, plus the 1 month that is occurs in game, which, as you can see, that final month is huge because of the fact that you upgraded your guards in that month.
So for
You
the
pay-
rest of the time skip, we have to pay that much money.
For like basically to make you current up to date. That's how much money you have to pay.
Okay. All right. So we basically just need to not spend.
Right, and 60% of
Two.
that was from the last month, just an FYI. So
Okay.
so
Alright.
you may, but I
Well,
also
I mean-
listed the potential opportunities for new sources of income that could potentially increase what your
Oh,
Stronghold makes.
there you are. I see you highlighting it.
yeah.
Holgen does. Well, we can. I mean, I don't know. God doesn't know anything about marketing, so I can't help with that.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. We do have the plant growth formula. Maybe we. Oh, we should probably, since we have it like the rest of the day, we should probably like give that, like show that to Moira or something. Right? Doesn't she work with the plants?
Yeah. She is the alchemist.
Who has the vial? Sissel?
Do
think
I
so.
have the vial? Let me check my
I think you have the vial
inventory.
plus the
Oh.
formula plans for actually making
Okay.
it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Someone definitely shoved it into their jacket, and
All right. So once we finished what we were talking about just a second ago, I suppose that we'll be heading out tomorrow to meet up with them. I'm saying this to Bowles.
Okay.
And
All right.
then,
Well, don't let me keep you then.
yes, though I imagine it will be a little bit longer than 6 hours this time. So, don't expect a
it'll
quick
be
return.
7
No.
hours.
I'll
this
get a cell.
time.
I'll
Yes.
get a cell ready for him.
All right. Goff will just kind of awkwardly take a couple steps back. I guess we'll see you later. And just kind of.
Okay.
I still don't know. Goff just like turns and leaves the room and just thinks, I still don't know how to say goodbye to people. And
Balls just kind of shakes his head and starts drinking another mug of coffee. His third of the morning.
Good God.
Oh my god, he's gonna have such bad coffee shits later.
Yeah, he is.
Oh my god.
Please.
Okay, so with your money in hand and your fourth bounty turned in, and the rest of the day before you, what do you wish to do?
After we're like out of the military building, Goff is gonna say to Sissel, so do you think we should do something with that formula?
Moira can probably do something with it. Unless he wanted to give it to somebody else.
Who else would I give it to?
I don't know. You?
I was thinking, me.
Mm-hmm.
I can make plants grow with my hands.
Okay. Well, maybe you can make them grow like super beefy.
I think it's best if Moira is the one who messes with this sort of thing. You said she's an alchemist, right?
Yeah, she can
She's
mess
better
around with
for-
formulas and
I-
stuff.
I don't know anything about weird juices and liquids. I just know how to.
I don't know anything about liquids at all.
Goff of Still Waters knows nothing about liquid.
I know things about water, and that's it. I don't know anything about
No weird
chemicals.
Does not
juices.
like soda.
I don't know. I'm honestly terrified of chemicals. I'm honestly not even sure if this is safe, but I'm sure she will. So perhaps it's best if you leave it with her.
Probably
Or-
for the best.
Or if you, yes, if it's it's up to you. You're the one who figured it out. I guess
Hello.
we'll walk back to the
Hello?
Snapdragon.
Okay. Short enough trip. Your stronghold is the same as that ever was. You only left like 6 hours ago, so
Same as
it's
it
not-
ever was.
it's not like anything has
Right,
significant.
we've not
has
been gone as
gone
long
on.
as it feels.
No. Yep. So you make your way to the stronghold, and Moira's out there in the garden, cultivating some of the herbs, making them ready for harvesting. So your guards are on the rounds. Arya is meditating under the storm oak.
Oh,
You see Luma and Alarin practicing at the training grounds. Just a very active midday.
I'm gonna.
What is bankrupt?
It's bad.
It's when you rupture your bank. It's a medical condition.
No, it's not.
Cicely. Goff puts his hand over. He puts his middle finger up on the bridge of his nose. Cicely, I know there's nothing in the body called a bank.
How do you know?
If I have to, I'm not going to play your game. And he just sighs and walks away. He goes to the storm oak, and he's gonna go to the storm oak and try to meditate as well.
Okay. All right. Jeez.
Verna just like, all right then. Doesn't-
Verna
no
just-
one actually tells Goff what bankrupt actually means.
Verna's
the,
just
the
like,
closest we get is Ray saying it's bad. So that's what Goff thinks about bankrupt. That's all we know.
Mhm.
That's all he
I mean-
knows.
Bad.
Ellen heads off to tend to her children, see how they're doing, and the rest of you are left to your own devices. Verna, you are heading somewhere, I'm assuming.
Where's Verna gonna go?
Where's Verna gonna go? Okay. Oh, how do you wish to go about it? Go to the library. No,
Verna's gonna go to the library.
probably more riveting library RP. Okay. So you make your way over to the Temple of Pelor, in the center of the religious district of the city. And how do you wish to go about finding out information about this this artifact? I mean, there's no front desk or anything. Like, you drop this thing out of your bag
In the
and
middle
just,
of the
like,
fucking
middle
like
of the
of the fucking,
soothing
like,
hand.
in the
pews.
middle of what's essentially a goddamn hospital.
Verna comes into this place and all she does is not know how to talk to people. Remember the fucking flirting thing?
She's so good. She's so good.
As soon as you just drop this thing out, you see a number of the patients sitting up in their bed, kind of looking very alarmed, and then a few of the clerics kind of run up to you and sort of like make hand motions to sort of usher you out. You're disturbing the patients. Go, get it. Go speak to one of the paladins. Fuck off. You're making this fun, Patty. Jesus. This is for fucking real. Oh god!
What the fuck happens to Verna when she enters the threshold of a fucking like church or like a holy place? She just she turns into the biggest shit poster in Arcadia whenever she goes to this fucking place.
Jesus. Okay. Alright. So I'm gonna say, Verna, you kind of like walk around the halls for a little bit, and then you find like a mess hall with a bunch of the paladins are eating at, and you just walk in and just drop the maul on the ground with this big resounding clang.
Is that the cursed weapon?
Yeah.
You fuckers. Take this
And
shit.
they all kind of look at you. One of them, you see him like is picking up his mug of ale mid swig, and it's just like dripping down the front of his plate armor. He's like, you see this paladin of Pelor who's like you can tell he's a half orc, and he says, that's unfortunate. It depends on the severity of the curse, but potentially, yes. I mean, he kind of looks at you and he looks at your holy symbol and he says, Can't you do it yourself? I don't know. I don't have the weapon in front. I mean, I haven't looked at it. I haven't studied it. Kind of looks over at his companion, this ruddy-looking dwarf fellow. He says, "What about you? Any ideas?" His life companion, yeah. They're just sort of looking at each other blankly, like they're just so much like the DM, just completely thrown off by this whole interaction.
Wow, my self-insert.
And they're kind of like in contemplation a bit. And the dwarf pipes up and he says, I have a mate who specializes in curses. You might want to go speak with them. His name is Starodol. You should find him right down the hall. Kind of a rotund-looking dwarf fellow. You can't miss him. One bad eye. This is the most ridiculous interaction I've ever seen in my life.
Is it?
Well, for this game, maybe. Okay, so what are you doing with this information?
Verna's quest continues.
Okay. You search around a little bit, and you find what looks.
This Verna's internal monologue. She's leaning over her shoulder, and in her brain, she thinks Verna's quest continues to herself.
She, Verna, you head on down in the direction that the paladins pointed you, and eventually you find yourself to kind of like a scribe's room. Like one of those like ancient. You might see in ancient monasteries where a bunch of monks are gathering around, like writing out documents.
Illuminated manuscripts.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Thank you. And you do find an older-looking dwarven man with just completely clean-shaven, one kind of milky white eye, fairly overweight in a long kind of friar's brown robe, sitting at one of these lecterns. He's writing away. And he's not really paying any attention to you. He looks up at you with a start. He says,
Jesus Christ, Verna.
Well, no one's quite described me like that, but
Oh,
I do know a thing or two about curses, yes. Well, okay. Let me see the weapon. I'll tell you what I can do. Jesus, this is unbelievable. Oh my god. Okay. All right.
God.
I think Verna's just having fun dropping weapons on tables. I think she just likes doing
Verna's
it.
got like a very, very tiny little smirk at the little corner of her mouth.
Okay. He as you drop, oh my god, as you drop the weapon with a clang in front of this man, he kind of starts a little bit. He says, "This is," kind of places his hands on a little bit hesitantly, and he says, "This is quite a piece of work here. Where did you find this?" And he's just sort of studying it a little bit. It's very ornate, actually. When you look at it, you actually see that the maul of the hammer itself is engraved with all of these various, like almost relief patterns, almost like it's telling a history. You can see one image that's image that seems to be a picture of like a man wielding this weapon charging into battle into a horde of demons, and then another one that seems to be holding aloft, glowing with radiance as it strikes down a number of undead. Just these heroic images that are just engraved into this weapon. Well, that's certainly understandable. It's quite something, actually. It's very unique. Do you mind? And he looks to place his hands on it and sort of start examining it. As he places his hands on it, he kind of closes his eyes a little bit, and you hear him muttering to himself as he's casting sort of like identifying magic. And after a moment, he opens his eyes again and he frowns a little bit. And he says, "Well, it's very interesting. This is more than just a curse. Although, how much do you know about this weapon? This is the Justice's gavel. This is a weapon that has been held by every famed paladin within the last millennia who have stood up against."
Oh,
How did you come
up? A fucking relic. He just iconic To the paladins. Hey, yeah, I got one of your most famous fucking hammers of all time. Can you fucking tell me what's wrong with it? Jumps on table.
This is
Is it Ashbringer?
That is not
Yeah.
acceptable.
he's like in awe at this thing now. He says, this is a relic of great significance to those of our order. Are you sure? Uh, the curse, it's not that simple. You see, it's not just a mundane curse. If it was just any mundane item that was cursed, we could just remove curse. Wiggle our fingers a little bit, it'd be fine. Yes, it's still combat worthy. Magical weapons like this, especially those imbued with the power of those who have wielded it before, they tend to have a lifetime of energy within them. But this weapon itself, again, it's more than just a curse. There's an intelligence living inside it.
Uh-oh.
Have you tried wielding it yet? I wouldn't recommend it, but have you tried? Very, very cautious of you. Yes, there's a being living in
its curse.
there's a being living in the weapon. It calls itself the Judge. It seems to have, well, it has very interesting perspectives on things. But it seems as if this weapon, once upon a time, held a noble soul within it. It might still have it, but that soul has been overwhelmed by this other sentience that's taken up residence within the weapon. As for removing it, again, it's not as simple as just casting a remove curse on this. The best I can offer you is you will need to find your own inspiration to do so, your connection to your own god, to show you the way and how to wield this weapon for good. I don't know what this means. Fuck
Patrick!
off.
They're both gay! Patrick. You.
Being memed on so hard by Patty. I'm trying to pry this like cool weapon. He's goofing on me.
He always.
That appears to be the case, yes. This weapon is, for lack of a better term, sentient. It's alive.
Doesn't like that you've been
It has a
dropping
personality of it and a will of its own. Probably isn't too happy about you throwing it around like that.
it. What? He stole it from me. Verna just cursed it even more by dropping it.
Well, that's up to you. I'm sorry. With things like this, it's not so straightforward. If you wish to wield this weapon as a symbol of justice, then you're going to have to go on your own journey. Commune with your deity, whatever you feel is appropriate. These things are the will of gods, and often they're outside of our understanding. I'm waiting for Patrick to dunk on me again. It's coming. You know it's coming.
Completely disrupt the foundation of the role play in this world. Just do some ridiculous shit.
What the fuck?
Oh my god. Oh my
Um,
god. Verna, you can't talk to people like this.
he looks down at himself. Did you just? He looks like he's gonna. He just sort of sighs a little bit and he goes back to writing.
Vern.
Verna! You can't just say that to people.
Okay. All right. So Verna, you head on back out. In the meantime, what are the rest of you doing? You're back at the stronghold.
We were not there to see that.
No, that was
Nope.
at the soothing camp.
Just making
Yeah.
sure because of. Oh, my Verna senses are tingling.
So what are the rest of you doing? You're back at the Dapper Snapdragon.
I'm getting some lunch. Wait, is it lunchtime?
Yeah, it's lunchtime, so Holg's already got like a bunch of finger sandwiches out on a platter in the dining hall
Fuck,
ready to go.
yeah. What's on the sandwich?
What do you want to be on the sandwich?
I'm just feeling like a ham and cheese.
Yeah, you can put a little ham and cheese in there.
Okay.
He has a little bit of the dressings and stuff that he got from from the Orc town.
How's Holgendas doing? It's
Uh,
been 6 hours since we talked about it, but
It's still in the freezer.
alright.
Do you want some? I've been making more. I've been making more flavors. I have this one. Have you ever had? So, I thought to myself, if you ever had like baked goods, like cookies and that kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
I thought maybe like usually you're not supposed to eat raw cookie dough. It's not healthy for you. But I thought maybe if like you put little chunks of it in the iced cream, it might be pretty tasty.
Huh. Let me try that.
Okay, he goes back and he gets like a little cup of ice cream for you, and he hands you chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream.
I feel
I
like
have it, and it's fucking
Mino is like his number one taste tester.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so he gives you some cookie dough ice cream.
Is it fucking delicious?
It is. Let's do a roll for it.
Because if
Oh, that- it could be better.
If Hulk just invented if he just made it popular for you to eat cookie dough, that would be
Yeah,
incredible.
incredible. It's okay. It's not the best thing. Like you probably could use a little bit more work, but it's got potential.
I do tell him it has potential. I still eat all of it because it's still good, passably good.
Yeah.
Um,
So when do you guys think we should start selling it? Like, I haven't thought of like a marketing plan or anything, but I thought we could start adding it to the tavern menu.
We could do that. What do you guys think? I also have ice cream on my face, and I now that I've turned to the group, I realize that there's stuff on my face, so I wipe it
Yeah,
off.
Cecil kind of just like points to her own face, looking at something.
Goff is not there, so.
Oh, well, Maya wipes it all off on her sleeve.
On her plate.
Isn't she wearing
Damn
a
right.
fucking gauntlet?
I'm sorry, not her sleeve, her clothes.
Oh,
It's gotta get washed anyways. They were just in a fucking cave or something. Ruins. I don't remember where we were.
Ruins, yeah. Alright. So is there anything else you wish to do today? Any of you?
Cecil is gonna go take the formula to Moira.
Okay. So she's already outside working, kind of preparing the herbs for the next batch of potions. When you approach.
Hey.
Oh, you're back quite early.
Yeah, we that whole thing went a lot easier than I thought it would. Like,
Well,
a
if
lot
only they all
easier.
could.
But
If only they all could.
if
So,
only.
what brings you to me?
We went inside one of those ruins, you know, like the ones in the thicket, but in a different part of the thicket. And we found.
Give me an insight check.
Oh, okay. Where's my dice? Shit. It's dark. I can't see.
By the way, Falk, I did say yes to hold. I've decided we should
Okay.
sell.
Good.
Oh, can't find my shit right now. I'm just gonna roll from roll 20.
Okay.
I don't know shit.
All right. So continue what you were saying.
Just ignore. Just ignore it.
Seems fine. And we found this alchemic formula, and I mean, I wouldn't be able to do much with it, but I think it's for like plant growth and stuff. And I just kind of give her the copy and the vial that we got.
She takes it from you and she kind of uncorks the vial a little bit, and she kind of holds it up to her nose to smell it a little bit, and she frowns a little bit, corks it back up, and she says, she starts like kind of flipping through the notes that you made, and she says, so this is like, you see her like her brow furrowing more and more as she reads through this. Like, she says, this is revolutionary.
Oh, I mean, well, you know, we found it in an ancient ruin.
How have we lost such information?
I mean, I didn't.
With this kind of, I mean, it mimics alchemically what druids can and those attuned to plant life can do with their magic, but it can be done naturally without the use of magic. And well, let's just say with this, I could double the number of potions I could.
Oh, well, I mean, a little goes a long way. By the way, we saw it in action. It's a lot.
Very potent. I can see that. I'll have to do some experiments with it, but maybe. Would you mind if I tried it? And
No, go for it.
okay. And she kind of like looks a little gleeful at that, like she's like really excited about this.
Oh,
She's, I'm gonna go just get started then.
Okay.
And she kind of like rushes into the house, and
oh.
you see her already like starting to. You hear like clang, clang, clang. She's like pulling like shit off
Bless
of the
you.
shelves, and
Oh no, that's Moe.
So, I don't want to interrupt. I just want to say I also have a thing.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
that's-
okay,
I'm pretty much done.
Okay, I want to go see God.
okay. So Goff is sitting over by the storm oak. So he's like against one portion of this massive, massive trunk that is sitting in the middle of your courtyard. And you find him there. Goff, what are you doing? You're just kind of just sitting there calmly meditating.
Yeah, I sat down like a comfortable distance away from Arya. It was just, I mean, it wasn't really fully meditating. It's more so he was just, I guess he's meditating in a sense, but he's trying to grapple with the fact that he has to go back to the, like he handed up pretty coolly when he heard it, but he's also like low key kind of panicking about having to go back to the islands again, even though it's not going to be the same. He's just,
Mm-hmm.
old fears die hard.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
he's
that's a
just
good movie.
yeah. But he's kind of just trying to like prepare himself for having to go back there again mentally.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
Mito takes a seat next to him.
Goff knows she does because she's as loud as a fucking trash can rolling down a hill.
Wow! She's not wearing her armor. When
Oh,
you're
she's
back.
not?
No.
I didn't
She
know
don't
that.
Sleep in it.
Loud as a trash can rolling
Wait,
down.
it's the same day. We haven't slept yet.
Oh yeah.
Unless
So
might
I'm
have just
assuming you're
like
still wearing
power
your
stripped.
armor.
I thought we were just hanging out for the day. I don't know.
We are, but I didn't know if you were armored or not, so I was just making a goof. I'm sorry.
Okay, it was a really good goof. Well, anyways, she sits down next to him, and yes, she's loud enough even with her boot steps. There.
She sits down. She just does one of those big like. She sits down, just like a big like grunt
No,
or whatever.
She's
Oh, okay.
quiet. No.
Okay.
She's just like, hey, do you mind if I sit here?
No, you don't have to ask me that every time.
Thought I'd ask.
You
You
don't
want-
have to.
Hey.
Mito, you're allowed to sit next to me whenever you want.
Alright, okay. She puts her hands up defensively. Just kind of, since you're the cleric person, that I'd ask you.
Is that how you see me, the cleric person?
You're my friend, but you're also a cleric person.
All right. Go
She
ahead.
looks kind of embarrassed. I was hoping maybe you could say a prayer for M.
Oh,
Yeah,
how so?
I don't know, just shit to work out for her. I don't know.
Well, if you want me to say one out loud for you, I can, but I say prayers for her every day.
You do?
Yes,
Why?
because she is beloved to you, and you are beloved to me, as are all of the Blue Hearts and everyone here. So I pray for everyone that is loved by one another to find their way.
Mito just doesn't move, but on the inside, she's like clutching her heart and she's about to cry. Cool.
Would you like me to say something now? Would it help?
Maybe. Yes.
Let me think. It's hard to put into words. Sometimes the way that I pray is more of a feeling. But I don't really I don't know how much
You don't
like
have to say.
I don't know how much like Christian stuff is like in my brain that I'm just doing like involved like without thinking about it. I don't know how much this like is appropriate for like a cleric. I don't really know if I'm like overdoing some of these like things. I don't like these tropes. I don't know if it's
It's up to you. There's no
okay.
tropes or cliches here. You can do what you want.
Okay. Goff is gonna hold his big old palm out to Mito.
He's what? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
He's holding his big hand out
His
towards
paw.
you. Yeah.
Okay.
Poff.
I put a hand.
Okay. He'll just gently close it.
Skyrim music sending me somewhere. Under a tree. Sorry, go ahead.
As we sit under one of her many blessings. Well, she cannot control everything. She ultimately guides as much as life as she can towards a peaceful life and a peaceful end. And I know that for our sakes, that the Grove Mother will try to guide her as well to a peaceful path or an end. Let us hope with her.
Mido closes her eyes.
If you think this is towards Mido specifically. If you just sit and you think and you feel with everything you have, the Grove Mother will feel it and she will know. And while she may not put her hand directly into the playing field, ultimately she wants for you what you want, to be happy, to be at peace, to grow and improve.
I don't and when I say I don't know what to say, it's my character doesn't.
Yeah, that's okay.
She just nods.
I'm completely improvising this. I don't know how to do good.
She's just nodding.
Okay.
I'd also like to pray for Verna.
Are you saying this in or out of character?
This is in character.
Okay.
She says it just like that.
Okay.
I hope that she also finds peace. I open one eye, off.
Goff just sits there for a few extra seconds while she's looking at it. He just does a very slight nod with his head. You got it. It's okay.
And that's all I got, Eldath.
Well, certainly different than I'm sure she's used to people talking to her.
It's been a few years.
Let us just may Emmeline find freedom from that which plagues her, either in rebirth or peace in her passing. Let her suffer not, so that you both can move forward and grow, and let Verna find whatever she needs to find to find the peace within herself to move on as well. And let our journeys remain as safe as they can, so that we may carry out your will and save this realm from what ails it in the future.
And stuff.
What?
And stuff.
Yes. And that, I guess I'll just...
That's it. That's all
all right. Well, I hope it has it helped to say it.
Yeah, I think so.
At least it's, you know, for what it's worth, I think, you know it. She doesn't want to be where she is, Emmeline.
No.
Something is compelling her, and she doesn't want it to be, so at least we know she's still in there. And we're gonna get her out of it.
Yeah.
We can pray to Eldeath all we want, but we are the masters of our own destinies, and that includes saving hers. I think we have to be the change we want to see. We have to make it ourselves. And we will.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. And I just kind of clap my hands together and roll them.
You know, I think you still owe something, sword through the heart. And you didn't give it to my brother, but perhaps you can give it to whatever's doing this to her.
I laugh really loudly. I'm not gonna do that because I don't want to bother my neighbor.
Okay.
But I make a big loud guffaw.
Is it like a fake forced one, or is it like an actual
No, like
one?
a real one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's what I'll do.
I've found that usually you feel best when you're able to put a sword in something. So
Most of the time.
or if you're eating.
Wow, you've really gotten to know me as a friend, haven't you, Goff? I clap his back with my hand.
I suppose I have, yes. Though you have not made it too difficult.
Oh. Come here, guy.
Is she like giving him a hug?
Yeah.
Okay. He'll give her he'll wrap his arm around her.
Anyways, so thank you for that very helpful prayer session. I'm gonna go get more food.
What aren't you just eating just like a few minutes ago?
Well, Hulk has some new flavors, and I just want to be there to help him, you know?
You are his number one participant.
I am. I hope he appreciates that.
I think
She says that a little louder than the rest of her words.
I don't think Hulk is anywhere nearby. I don't think he can hear you. He's inside the kitchen. We're outside, like 100, like 100
How
or 200
far
feet
away
away.
is the kitchen?
Oh, pretty far. He's in a different building. We're outside.
Well, maybe he can hear.
I don't think he can.
Well, she does it anyways.
Okay. So the fucking tree can hear it?
Yeah. Girth. Always taking pictures.
Oh my god.
My favorite search engine, Hoogle.
Hoogle. Hear him hurgling.
Hear him hurgling.
Wow.
Hear it hurgle.
Who turgle?
Who turtled?
Okay, I think we're Gucci on.
Okay.
You had another word or something.
What?
Unless you had something else to say.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, I'm good. We had a nice moment.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know how to do.
Oh, you're fine.
I don't know how to do eloquent prayers, so I just try my best.
You're fine. It was
Great.
good. Yeah, mine is just an extremely awkward individual.
Goth/ritual prayer.
Oh, what? Like the emoji, the
Yeah,
emote in
the
14?
emote.
Oh,
That's the joke I was making.
okay. I wasn't quite sure. I didn't.
That's a good joke.
Good joke. All right. So with that done, is there anything else any of y'all wish to do with your day? Either
Um,
either to discuss your next quarry, or if there's other things you want to take care of.
I'm good.
I'm good.
so the guy is. Hold on. Leo Boros, former Arcadian officer. I mean, I don't really know if there's much more we can talk about for him other than where he went, and we basically already discussed where we were going to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess we're going to try and use the quantum entangler to warp tomorrow morning. That's what I think we were talking about. Oh, I guess I didn't specifically discuss that. I mean, we did. We went, yeah.
I don't know if you actually mentioned it to, other than saying that they were in the. Yeah, you told everybody else that they were at Crackbreaker Citadel.
She just walks in and asks that.
Who do you ask this of? You just walk into the tavern with all the public patrons, and you just like, do you know anybody who can summon a demon?
I'm pretty sure that's like really. I want to say that's a taboo thing to do, but I don't. Maybe not. I don't. I don't think we employ anyone who can summon demons.
Nope.
Oh,
Sissel carries like, oh no, not a demon, a devil.
I carry a devil, but we could probably
Sim-
ask.
Sissel's a bit of a demon on her own.
Yeah.
it's true.
It's not very nice to.
Oh,
It's a term of endearment.
have we not covered that yet?
Is Verna not aware of that? The doll?
As soon as you mention this, Verna, you look over on Sissel's shoulder and you see this little creepy porcelain doll sitting there on her shoulder, and it sort of like cranes its neck to go look over at you, and it says, Good afternoon. My name is Smile."
Yep.
Oh, like the dark hold.
No, it's not.
Shut the fuck up, Fred.
Dedicated to the right person.
Okay, I mean, normally I'd be all down for it, but I have to ask why? Because I'm curious.
What's happening? Is she gonna hit Sissel with the hammer? What's going on?
Cecil, this is how I die.
God! Goodbye!
I've only
Death
got
by
96
cougar.
HP. Smile.
Samael looks at the weapon.
She called him Smile.
Samael looks at the weapon and says, I see that it is a cursed weapon. Perhaps I could remove the curse. Would you like to make a wish?"
Oh god. Out in the yard, Goff suddenly opens his eyes.
Something
bad
is
has
wrong.
The scales of balance are tipping once again towards chaos.
Are we in the middle of the Snapdragon?
If you mind, I mean, I don't know where you're at right now.
Oh, I think Sissa would probably be like near-ish to the gardens.
Fucking Samael.
I love Samael.
Yeah. Want to make a wish? Oh yeah. You want to make a
Oh
wish?
yeah, of course. Well, nonetheless, I could remove those intelligences for you. Very well, I will be here.
This doll
Miss-
sucks.
Miss
Later.
Blackwell, if you could put me back in the bag.
Okay.
Can't he put himself back in the damn bag? He doesn't want to keep
Himself
moving
out.
himself.
He's got to be comfy.
You put like a little pillow inside the bag.
Yeah.
Oh
Little
my god, he's
shithead.
getting pampered.
Yeah. It's a male nest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can try.
Yes! That's what I want to hear.
Leave Samael alone.
Team Vertigoff gonna destroy the shit out of that doll as soon as possible.
Is that what is that? Oh, are you drawing the doll, Patty?
What is that a potato?
Is that a smiling potato?
Is that Sans?
Yeah. Oh God. Gotta draw the fire coming off of the one eye. There it is.
Got it. I got it.
Thank you. Leave him alone.
It's the hammer coming down to smash the doll apart.
No.
Bum bum.
But some male Undertale.
Oh god.
What is happening?
What is
Okay.
that?
So what are the rest of y'all doing at this point? You have anything else you wish to do today, or do you want to just kind of skip to the next day?
I've just been hanging out with Holg and talking about flavors potentials.
At some point, Goff is going to stop in and taste one of the flavors.
Okay. You find like a nice blackberry.
Oh man, blackberry ice cream.
Ah.
Yeah.
No, I shouldn't. Now I want ice cream. But other than that,
I
mean,
kind of do too. Shit.
how long has it been since we were in the islands?
At this point, about 4 months.
Trying to decide if Goff would send a message if he wants to drop in on surprise. He probably wouldn't. He probably won't say anything. Better that way. Yeah. So I don't think there's anything else I'm gonna do. Oh, you know what I never fucking addressed, and I keep forgetting to fucking address. I left this thing in like Moira's care like months ago, like in game time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think it was before we went to the islands. I don't remember. It was that little bush thing. It was the little plant that was
Oh
growing
my
that I could go around.
god!
I'm just gonna like that thing shouldn't like that thing is just a little buddy. It doesn't do anything. It just runs around and moves. It's a little bush.
Yeah, actually,
And I
It's a
completely
Minecraft.
forgot about it.
that. I will say you've actually seen it around. Like it's like a little helper for Moira.
Yeah.
It like carries, like she put a little platter on top of its head and it carries stuff around for her.
Oh
That's
yes.
really cute.
I just kept like I kept forgetting to mention it every time we came back, and then I would look at my notes and I'd be like, "Oh fuck, I still didn't address the plant because in my inventory is a thing." And then I would just kept. I swear to God, I wanted to remember like at least 9 or 10 times and kept forgetting. And so like I just wanted to address that little plant, that little shrub.
She named it Holly. It's a holly
Yeah.
Oh,
bush.
that's really cute.
I just wanted to know like what was up with that plant because
Yeah.
I kept fucking
That's
forgetting.
it. It's like a little holly bush.
I mean,
and
it's gonna
yeah.
it's gonna find more help here, with Moira rather than Goff carrying it around. So,
Yeah.
does it play with the little animals sometimes?
I mean, they play with it. It's not too
Oh,
mobile. It has
okay.
little. It can walk around on its little roots. It's still got like the actual pot attached to it.
Oh, it's kind of like
Aw.
piranha plant, but less scary.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's like the onion.
The onion?
From Odyssey. You know the onion you can capture?
Oh
Oh
yeah.
yeah, it's like that. Yeah, it's exactly like that, except it's like a holly bush instead of an onion.
Oh, the Goff will just play with. He'll just spend some time with his little animal pets,
Okay.
friends.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, I don't think there's much else I have to do.
Okay.
I guess I don't know if we had a conversation about what we're gonna do tomorrow. Did we?
You did not know.
Okay, then I guess at some point we'll be together and we'll talk about it. I guess.
All right. Well, you can handle that how you want to.
Uh, are we gathered at one point? Can we say that we're gathered at one point?
If you want to be. It's up
Is
to you.
Verna there, or is she still gone?
She could. I mean, I'm assuming she's here at this point. She's talking about demons with Cecil.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So I guess at some point, like
Well, yeah.
when I don't know if we're like in the war room or I don't know where we would be, but let's say we're in the war room. I don't know. Why not?
We're in the war room.
War room. And Goff will just clarify, I guess. So I suppose tomorrow, once Walden's strange device is ready to be used again, we're going to try to go into the Citadel. Does that sound correct to everyone? Like, is that fine?
Across the sea?
Probably better to cross this way than on the boat.
Yeah, the ocean didn't like it us too much.
No. I mean, I can do my best to contest with it, but if she has such things such as that gargantuan thing, that Leviathan or whatever you call it, at her command, I don't know if the sea is a safe place for us, at least near the islands. But I suppose we'll stop there for a day and check in with Aubrey and Olive, and then I suppose while we're there, see how things are going on the island since we left. Hopefully not bad. And maybe I'll have to look into that jewel, the stone. Something. Didn't Eggley have a connection to it or something?
Yeah, that's what your first thought was.
I need to look into Eglig, the one I saw in the tombs. I don't know. I'll have to ask Jirok or someone. See if I need to go back in there and try to speak with Eglig again. Maybe it could be one of our first leads into these stones we need to find. If you could tell me something. So I think going there will help us deal with two clues at once.
Would be cool to see Aubrey and Olive again, too.
Yes, and it'd be nice to have friends around again. See how they're faring. I mean, they're not dead yet, thankfully.
So we'll rest
Perhaps-
up and then use the thing in the morning? Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. I was just kind of rambling. Yes, that seems about right. So if any of us have anything we need to do or collect before going, make sure you do it today. I think tomorrow we're going to be leaving fairly early on.
All right.
Well, anyway, that's what I'm thinking. Yes, that's it. I'm not very good at speeches, so
Yes.
all right.
Oh my god.
I'm not getting a lot of responses from my friends here, so I'm just like I feel like I'm talking. I don't know. Okay. I guess I'm done.
Great teamwork, guys. So I'm going to wait. Assuming it's like in the evening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can skip ahead to the evening. Yeah.
Oh no.
It's okay.
All right.
It's more I was saying it like whenever I am just talking and there's silence, I'm just kind of like I don't really know how to stop, so I'll just
No
kind of
problem.
awkwardly be like, "All right, DM, roll the tape."
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we can advance to the evening or wherever you wish to be. Like, it's no
I was saying
solid
if it was evening, I would have had to headed to bed.
Okay, yeah.
I
Yep.
mean, I imagine this conversation was probably in the afternoon, and then it would be evening later. But yeah.
Yeah. So I can say, yeah, you can all head to bed. Get a full night's rest, restore all of your resources, which
Heck yeah.
not that much actually, except for
Man.
Goff, who had to do a few texts.
Yeah. Make sure
get
to
up-
restore your spell points.
Get up bright and early, Sissel. As you get up, you hear like the hum of the quantum entangler as it powers back up, and it's ready to go again.
All right. I'm just gonna head down for some breakfast before we head on out.
Cool. Holg prepares a typical fare of bacon and eggs and toast and various other breakfast foods for all of you to enjoy.
Hell yeah.
Just gonna eat some eggs
Eggies?
and eggs and yeah, some eggies before wait for everyone else to come down.
What's happening?
Potato.
Huh?
Potato's having
What?
problems.
I don't know. What
I just
that
saw
was.
the little thing just flashing, and I was like, huh.
What? Oh.
Okay. All right. So it's bright and early for all of you. What do you should do?
I guess just gather my things. Oh, before we went to sleep, I would have done a sending message with Roscoe.
Okay.
Because I usually do one if I have the spell points.
Okay.
Like, at least once a week, if not more often.
Mm-hmm.
Just to check in. Is he still doing okay?
Yeah, he's doing good. He's learned a lot.
Alright. That's all. Just checking in.
He said he may not be able to speak to you for a while because he's going into a period of serious meditation.
Oh, shit. Serious dog meditation.
It's my dog. I want to talk to him.
Don't keep me from my dog. Did he say how long it would last?
He said it would depend on how long it would take him to find enlightenment.
But how would I know? When the message him again?
He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
Okay, well, alright, then I'll just tell him I love him.
Yeah.
And that I want to pet him.
I love you. I want to pet you.
This is such dog owner energy. Like, if I could talk to my dog, the things I would say, I want to pet
know.
you.
I miss you. I love you.
I love
You're
you.
the best dog in the world.
I wanna
You're also
pet you.
you're also incredibly strong. You can kill a man in 2 hits, possibly 1, depending on the man.
All right. So you all gather up the following morning, ripe and ready to go on your journey. Is there anything you wish to do before you set out, or are you gonna just?
I don't know what Sissel says. I don't know if Sissel like tells Moira what we're doing, but Goff would just like let her know.
Okay.
He would just kind of poke his head and be like, "We're gonna be going back out again,
No
probably
problem.
for longer," just to let her know that we're gonna be gone.
Well, Please watch Sissel. Make sure she doesn't do anything rash.
I can't guarantee anything, you know that.
Oh, I know. But I appreciate you for trying anyway.
I try so hard every time. Alright, yes, I will do my best. That fucking emoji.
You don't really need to purchase them because in the stronghold, Moira makes potions for you guys and sets aside like 5 greater healing potions a month, which I think you guys do have like an amount to grab at this point. It has been a new month.
Is it 5 greater?
5 greater and 1 potion. I want to say potion of health. Let me check real quick. Alike. It's in the Dapper Snapdragon document.
Elixir of health?
Elixir of health. Yeah, 5 greater healing and 1 elixir of health. Elixirs of health, I think, are things that like remove poison and such.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's up to y'all. Like, I think you're actually kind of low on potions as a group because I think you've used a lot lately.
We sure have.
Yeah, I think I've got. Oh, what? I think I've got. Nope, nothing.
And of course, the add amount of potions will double once Moira starts using the formula. So you'll get
Eyes emoji.
10 greater healing potions a month.
Oh gosh. Can you hold 3 of the greater healings? Sure.
Yeah, I think the melee folk probably need them a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright, so y'all are ready to head on out on your grand journey?
Since we ate the thing, do we have a refresh?
Yes, you do have. Has it actually? When was the last time you took it?
I actually didn't spend my last DM inspiration from the meals.
Well, then you still have it.
Yeah, but for anyone who might have.
Yeah, I'm just wondering when was the last time.
I don't know. Before we left for the orc stuff?
Okay, so yeah, I'd
Maybe?
say it's been long enough that you could probably get another one. So everybody from the food can get a point of DM inspiration.
Yay!
Nice. I'm
What
gonna
does that
mark
do again?
that off.
It lets you, if you, excuse me, when you choose to use it, you can roll with advantage.
Cool. I gotta remember to actually use them.
Yeah, me too.
Because the food is just that good.
Be like that some.
It does. Okay, so you all gather up. I'm assuming in the ritual chamber where the.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, it really doesn't matter. You can use the thing from anywhere.
It's probably just easier to do it there.
Okay. And I'll let Sissel. How do you want to do this? Because you do not have a teleportation circle or a attuned object to this area.
Would it be better if Goff did it?
Yeah, I mean, you can use it.
Yeah.
I mean, does familiarity with the location
Yes,
help?
familiarity matters a lot. It's still so without a permanent circle or an associated like an object to the area, like an attunement to it, familiarity with it, like you will still afford a 5% chance of a mishap, but you can still you have a 95% chance of getting to where you need to be.
I think Goff will take command of this one because he's most familiar with the islands. So,
okay,
I guess he'll do it. He'll awkwardly take this weird doodad and.
All right, this weird kind of circular device that has a.
Where's where's a safe location we can kind of warp to where we're not gonna just fucking run into people or like blow up a building?
You can go out on the outskirts of Cragbreaker Hold if you want.
Yeah.
Cragbreaker Citadel. Again, without an attuned object, there's no guarantee you will be on target. You might end up like in the forest somewhere, or there might be a mishap altogether. You don't know yet. This is the fun of it.
Okay.
Just gonna roll that D100.
So he'll take it and he'll say, "All right. Well, I don't know how well this will work, but without a circle, but I'll do my best to think of a spot.
Better for you to do it than me.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. All right, everyone, gather around and hope we don't die.
Oh boy.
Fingers
Alright.
crossed.
Okay, so you're just gonna all gather around, hold on to Goff, and Goff, you press the big old blue button in the center of this device, and
Do I roll or do you roll?
I roll.
Okay.
There's a crackling sound as a purple ball of electricity envelopes all of you and then shifts you through the planes. You find yourself deposited about, I want to say, 100 feet up in the air.
Ah, shit.
Down below you, you see a ravine surrounded by pine trees. Off in the distance, very quickly, like this is all happening very quickly, but you do see, like maybe about a mile off, the large walls of Cragbreaker Citadel.
Oh, fuck. Uh-oh.
So you are
So
all
we just appear and then we're just falling?
yeah, you are just falling. It was 100 feet down. What are you doing?
Sissel spreads her wings.
I
Okay,
want to
Sissel-
cast fly on myself.
I'm gonna pull the carpet
Wait.
out. I'm gonna try and like unfurl it as fast as I can.
And I got wings. I have
You have-
those.
This is like a non-issue because you can all fly.
Yeah.
I'm
So
gonna pass
Goth is like the-
fly on myself, Verna. Ellen can't fly anymore, right?
Correct.
No.
But she has the
Ellen.
broom, I think.
Yeah, she has the
Oh.
room right now.
Never mind. And tackle.
Thank you.
Okay.
So that's 30.
So, yep. So you, Verna, and Tackle. Okay. So as you're all suddenly, you feel the brisk island breezes brushing through your hair, and you realize there is no ground underneath you. Sissel, you immediately woof as your wings flare out behind you, breaking your fall. Mito, you do the same as these large. What I don't know what kind of wings you have, like for what wings you chose for the cloak.
Fucking raven.
Okay. They flare out behind you as well. Goth, you scramble through the bag of holding, pull out the carpet.
Everyone else is like, I feel like everyone else like kind of like all kind of flies at the same time. That Goff keeps plummeting as he's like trying to pull the carpet
you're
out.
like desperately like pulling this whole carpet out of the bag, and like Garfunkel, you just like whoosh and like throw it underneath you, and just.
So when Goff finally lands on the carpet, like probably I don't know tens of feet below everyone else, he just like he just like he like lays out on it after it like catches him, and he just goes, ugh, and then he falls onto his back, and he just goes, sorry.
I guess it could have been worse.
This seems familiar.
My aim seems to have been a bit off, or maybe his device is not perfect. I don't know. At least we got roughly where we need to be. So when I sit up, can I still see the hold somewhere?
Yeah, about a mile north of you, you can see the grand brick walls of Cragbreaker Citadel that just encompass this massive Goliath town that sits on the edges of a lake. And overlooking the town, of course, you see the Citadel itself rising. Your familial home, the keep that rises up over the cliffside, overlooking this entire town, with Lake Dorhan, of course, on the northern end of that, with the island in the middle where you held the moot.
Oh yeah.
Verna, you're actually hit with a fly spell, so you're actually fine.
Yeah, you're not. You didn't
He already cast fly on you, so you are able to fly at the moment. So that is what you see in the distance. You can see it's a typical bustling, smoke drifting up from the chimneys of these wooden longhouses, kind of like a Norse-style architecture. It's a cold day here on the islands. Even though it's middle of spring, it's still chilly.
It's a Goff has a bitter nostalgia when he smells the air here. Well, it's nice to be here, I think, when we're not chasing a cursed undead artifact, I suppose.
Yeah, that's
well-
true.
It's a little island vacation.
If you want to look at it that way.
I pat Goff on
Goff will fly up towards Verna a little bit and just, well, you weren't here before, but this is he'll kind of gesture towards the kind of the whole of the view. This is where I'm from. It was a lot different back when I was here before. They've come a long way. And my terrible brother has made surprising improvements. We'll probably, maybe you'll meet him before we leave here later. But for now, why don't we make our way points towards the citadel and find Aubrey, and well, why don't we just head there first and see and make our decisions once we get there? Yes. I'll start flying down towards, like, I don't know if there's a path or something.
Yeah, there's a path. A well-trodden dirt path that leads on through the pine forests. As you make your way down, you get a few strange glances from some
Are we in
Goliath
the
folk.
city?
No,
Are they
you
on
are
the-
on.
there's
You're like a mile
travelers.
away, but there's like
Okay.
travelers on with carts and wagons along the road. Goliath folk, wearing
Okay.
simple clothing, and they're kind of staring at you. They're staring at you very curiously. They wave a little bit.
Goff awkwardly waves back at some of them as he lands, and then like folds the carpet up. And he also, before he folds it up, he like pets a corner of it, and then he folds it up.
It takes a little tassel and pets you back.
Yes. Oh, I love Carfunkel.
Garfunkel.
I wonder if we could talk to Carfunkel somehow. I wonder if it has thoughts.
It doesn't have a voice.
Damn.
But-
Maybe it has an internal voice.
I don't know, man. There's no speak with objects. That'd be really
I
fucking
know.
weird.
Speak with chair.
That's me.
Oh yeah! Wow.
Wow.
Look at
that was a
that.
primal.
That was a
energy.
primal. Yeah. So I guess once everyone's on the ground, we can start walking. Unless people who are flying want to keep flying, I guess. But
It's up to y'all. I'll say that you eventually do make your way to the road. You're walking on along for about a mile. Takes you maybe about 30-45 minutes. And then eventually you see the... What?
does the energy here feel a lot more laid back than last
Oh,
time?
yes, absolutely. You see the great gates of Cragbreaker Citadel rising up before you, with the Cragsguard positioned on either side of the gates, watching the flow of the traffic to and from the city go through. You make your way into the city proper, with the cobblestone streets sort of winding in a non... you've been here before. Like the layout of the city isn't exactly planned. It's sort of like all over the place a little bit. But the streets themselves are well cared for, and the homes are these traditional Nordic style looking homes. You can see like the wafting smoke from nearby trade districts and the clang of metal in the distance early in the morning as the smiths do their work. And you're here in the hold. What do you wish to do?
Well, we're here. Shall we go find Aubrey and Olive?
Yeah, I suppose so. Where did they say they were?
They said that they were at the Somber Giant, the inn I think we stayed at. What was the name of the guy who worked there?
Pugak.
I think it was Pugak.
Pugak Grey Strider.
Was the one who Patrick, stop.
It's Pugak. Patrick's just taking the piss out of my whole game today.
Patrick, I wonder if Patrick would have made the same joke if he met Pugak all the way back then.
Probably.
I think, why don't we find them first, and then I might need to go up to the hold, or is the hold the name of the settlement, or is the Citadel the name of the settlement?
So the Crackbreaker Citadel is the name of the city, but then you
Okay.
have the Citadel, which is it overlooks everything.
Is it called the Citadel or the Hold?
Uh,
I thought it was called the Crackbreaker Hold was the building.
hold on, let me look it up.
I mean, it's not a huge deal.
No, Crackbreaker Citadel is the city itself. Then you have the Citadel, which is the keep.
Oh, okay.
It's a little confusing, but you know,
Uh,
because it originally it was just the Citadel, and then the entire city sprung up around it.
Okay. Why don't we, after we find them, if we can, then I might, I think, unfortunately, I need to tolerate my brother for a time. I need to see how things are going, and also ask him about maybe communicating with our ancestors again. So we'll head to this inn first. So I think it was this way, and I'll head towards where I remember it being.
Okay.
Is there a library? I think there is.
Not in well.
I feel like I
The
asked this
thing is
question
that
before.
you have, and the thing is that Goliaths of the Isles are more like oral history tellers. They don't
Uh-huh.
really write a lot down.
Is there a location where people could go to learn history from people?
I mean, like probably Umberley's Embrace. That's where a
but
lot of
that's
the cultural
across-
stuff.
But
That's like another
across the
island.
sea. Yeah.
Yeah.
There aren't really libraries here in the way that they have Arcadia. People here, it's a storytelling culture. A lot of by word of mouth, around a fire, legends and that sort of thing. If there's anywhere that you'd find a collection of information or someone who would know much, it would be at the Embrace. Fortunately, we're not on the right island. We'd have to go further south, east a little ways. So it would be a bit of a journey to get there. My apologies.
It would be a couple of J's journey.
Yes, we'd have to
Oh,
cross
gee.
another sea. Civilization here is more in its early days compared to Arcadia, I think. And there's a different culture as well, but I'm also somewhat unfamiliar with it. It's very different from when I was here before, but it's better for what it's worth. Let's keep continuing towards the inn.
As you are proceeding north through the city, passing by the various trade locales and making your way toward the place where you had once stayed several months back, what is everyone's passive perception?
I
Hi.
think mine's
Oh.
high. A billion. I think mine is
21?
21.
20. 20 is
Mine's
Let me check,
50.
Whoa.
It's
Uh,
21.
What's
21, 20, 15. Okay, I'd say Gothmito Hiraeth. You're walking through these districts and you pass a large garden area in the center of the city on your way
a
there.
what area?
A garden.
A garden.
And you kind of passed this place before. It's like a memorial garden where they have various statues of heroes from
Uh-oh.
the Goliath culture. At one corner of this garden, you see a large monument that's been erected. It's wooden. It's carved out of this polished wood. You recognize a number of figures in this relief. Five individuals and a dog.
Oh, I knew it. Oh God. How is it a good? Is it a good carving?
It's a good likeness, yes. their finest artisans.
Oh gods!
Oh.
Did Durak do this?
You see like a bunch of people like nearby looking at all of you and kind of noticing the resemblance.
This is kind of a lot of pressure.
I don't know if I should be flattered or uncomfortable. I'm more the latter, I think.
We should definitely be flattered and feel very good about this, but I'm
I-
not in the right mood today to be revered.
That's too much attention for me. Well, look at that, Cicely. You got a statue of yourself.
One thing to strike off the bucket list, huh? That actually was on my bucket list, by the way.
Wow. Actually, I think Roscoe's really gonna like that. Even if I don't, I think he'll appreciate it. uh, I don't know how to feel about this kind of attention. I'm just gonna. He's just gonna keep
I
walking.
pat him on the shoulder.
You see some people as you're like making your way away from it a little bit, and a couple of people have noticed the resemblance. Are like kind of waving to you and smiling.
Goff just does an awkward like half wave back, like.
Some bow with respect. Some are bowing in respect, and
Goff will like kind of awkwardly do a little quick head bow to some of them.
okay.
He's like very uncomfortable by this kind of attention. He's like trying to be kind, but he's like clearly not at home in this feeling.
Mhm. So, Verna, you're looking at basically this monument to your other friends who are immortalized in the Memorial Gardens of Heroes in Cragbreaker's Citadel.
We helped them, and suppose that this is how they will remember it. Not how I would do it, but I can't control. I'm not part of these people anymore. And not in the same way as I used to be, if I ever even was.
Well,
They did a good job, fine craftsmanship. I'll give them that. Oh, did you walk over and start standing next to it? Oh,
Oh my god.
were the Goliaths really a people that do a lot of this sort of thing, immortalizing people in stone and whatnot?
Did they really do that back in my day?
Uh,
Is that a newer thing?
sort of. They sort of did it. Not a whole lot. Most of their work was in stonework and reliefs and mosaics and that kind of thing, but they've taken
must
to
be-
statues.
It is one of the ways that they are craftsmen, many
They
of them.
must really like us then.
I think that we helped them during a very dire time. I'm not sure if disrupting their entire culture is something I call help, but I suppose better than
Yeah.
being chained humbly. Well, I'm glad that you are basking in it.
Okay. Excuse me.
That's really cool, though. Out of character.
All right. So you head on beyond that, and you make your way to the tavern that you had stayed at previously, the Somber Giant. And as you're getting nearby, you hear a commotion.
Uh-oh.
And then suddenly, through the doors, you see a Goliath just get flung on his ass
Oh, no.
onto the streets. And then, stepping out of the doorway, you see this diminutive-looking gnome wearing this Indiana Jones-style outfit.
Oh my
and
god.
and she points at him and says, "Don't hit on my girlfriend."
I'm so proud.
That's
She
my
kinda, like-
wife.
And she just kind of like wipes the dust off of her hands.
That is my wife. I don't know you.
And then she looks up and she sees all of you approaching. She says, "Oh, well, look who it is! Shit,
In the
doing around this
flesh.
neck of the woods."
How the fuck you doing?
Oh, I'm doing. He's doing worse than me. I can tell you that much. Aubrey said you were coming. You gonna give us a little hand? You're not here to take the money from us, are you?
Nah.
Yes, we are.
Well-
No, I mean, I don't know. I'm not taking any money.
We're more on an information hunt here than anything else, as far as I know.
Oh, let's join forces. See what we can find out.
That was what we wanted to do. Yes.
I'll buy a round. Come on.
Yeah.
And she
Oh,
points
alright.
toward the tavern.
Goff, how's that guy on the ground look?
He's looking a little cut up, and bruised. It looks like she pulled a knife on him, basically.
Holy
Oh.
shit.
Goff just looks at him. He's like, he just kind of shakes his head, like, "Wow," and
Knife
then just he
lesbian.
goes in.
So you walk inside the tavern. You see Pugak Greystrider, the kind of older-looking Goliath man, tending to the bar. He looks a little shaken up after just witnessing this, but he's probably witnessed worse, so it's not too bad. You see Aubrey sitting at a table. She looks completely unfazed by this whole situation. She's just nose deep in a book right now, just studying something.
Oh, I love her. I love them.
Kind of adjusting her big old spectacles a little bit and looking over it. Olive sort of does a whistle with her fingers, just to kind of get Pugak's attention. She says, "Can one round over here?" Make it two. And she sits down at the table next to Aubrey, and she kind of motions for all of you to pull up a chair and get comfy.
Okay, I'll sit down somewhere.
She says, "So you're after old Leo."
Yes, it's one of the bounties Bowles had us chasing. Last one on the list, actually.
Well, we've been after him for a couple of months now. It's he's kind of a
Months.
slippery one. Yeah,
Oh,
a couple of months. It's
Well-
been hard. He kind of slipped through the military cordon at Clearwater and made his way out into the ocean. But we got a lead at this point. The problem is just getting someone to take us out to where we need to go. Not a lot of ships want to sail out that way.
Hmm.
I
Oh.
mean,
I'm probably getting ahead of myself. How much do you know?
Well, we know about it. We know that he was likely to have escaped to a share. Was a solid guess. But otherwise, we know that. I'm trying to remember as I look at my notes. I mean, I'm not familiar with a lot of this history. He was did something in the military. He was in the war. He gave info on important things that he shouldn't have given, and that he went east. And then Bowles told us that you were looking for them, and we thought, oh well, why not ask them? So we came to you. And I think if anyone knows more, it would be you two.
Well, that's a good start. So yeah, old Leo was involved in some pretty nasty stuff back in the war. Got a lot of soldiers killed. He's been
Yes.
spending the last 30 years in prison, rotten for that. He's got a life sentence. But to fill in the blanks, he made his way out after the escape to Clearwater. This is what we found out. He made his way out. he managed to book passage on a ship to Ashea, a ship known as the Ocean's Bell. He signed on under the name Leonard Boreas, which, come on, it's ridiculous.
Leonard Boreas.
Leonard Boreas.
Okay.
Thing is, that ship never made it to Ashea. We did a little scouting around. We searched about. It looks like that ship might have cut through some dangerous waters where the pirates like to dwell. There's a few remnants of Orin's fleet that have taken up residence around the Solstice Reef. It's kind of a dangerous place. The waters are a little treacherous, and so the military hasn't really cleared them out yet. It's a little difficult. They don't want to risk it. Plus, they've got a fortress out there on an island that sort of just overlooks the whole thing. They've got flak cannons and all kinds of siege weaponry that they can fire on ships from a distance. So we suspect his ship probably was attacked by pirates. It either went down or he was captured. And so we wanted to head out there, find any remnants of that ship, see if maybe he went down with it or if he didn't. And he was captured by the pirates, see if we could maybe negotiate to take him off their hands.
Goff, after she mentioned that there's pirates remaining from Aura's fleet, Goff he does that oof grimace with his where the corners of his mouth are kind of bent curved down. He's just like ugh. He's just like this teeth kind of if you can see his teeth, you know what I'm talking about, that face where you're just like ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's when she mentions that he's just doing that the whole time that she's talking, and he's just sort of thinking, I'm the one responsible. We're the ones responsible for breaking that up. That might not go over well. I had more than my fill of combat on the open sea. It's led to this. I suppose that's where we have to go.
Well, there's a problem right now, is that we're having a hard time booking passage. Nobody really wants to travel toward that area of the ocean. It's understandably dangerous. They don't want to get blown out of the water.
Right.
So we've got one promising lead, but we're stalling a little bit on price. Let me put it that way. She wants quite a bit of money for it.
Who's she?
It's a merchant captain, a woman who operates a trading vessel that goes between here and Ashea.
Okay. What does she want?
She wants quite a bit of money, but I'm not sure how we can talk her down from it. She wants 2,000 gold for it.
That's
quite a ticket right there. I don't know if you have any other options, any other ideas. Maybe you have any connections you could use.
Connections to Ashea.
No, but you must know somebody who can pilot a ship. Look, we just need a ship and a crew.
Me, Tom, and blanking. Are there people on this island I know that can pilot a ship?
The Cragbreakers are former pirates, so
right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, at first I was Orin, but he's in jail, and
plus there are Arcadian military on the island because
there still are. Okay.
Yeah, Ambassador Tempest is here.
All right. Sorry, that's just me, Tom. It's been so long.
It's been literally a year since we did this arc.
The Cragbreakers are. They used to be more of them were pirates. I'm sure there has to be someone here who can man a ship well enough. I'm not much of a ship captain, but I can assist in matters of the water.
We can probably bat our eyes at some people since, we're pretty well known here.
Oh, those ridiculous statues? Yeah, I saw that.
They're not that great, I guess.
So it's a nice tribute.
So you're aware that we were here?
Oh, they won't shut up about it.
Great.
This Blue Heart's this, Blue Heart's that.
Oh boy. Guess we're celebrities now.
Well, maybe we can take advantage of that.
I feel like I'm the only one who's bothered by this. Well, yes.
Okay,
Uh,
try.
I'm sure we can find someone. I'm not thrilled to hear about more pirates, since we were basically involved with dismantling most of them and putting their leader in jail across the ocean. But well, if this individual has the information that we're looking for, I suppose it can't be helped. Go after him one way or another.
Well, I'll let you take the lead if you want to track us down a ride.
Well, we can try. I don't know anyone by name offhand, but I could ask around, I suppose.
No.
I know one individual who might be able to point me in the direction, but I need to speak with him first.
Okay. Well, we'll still be here. We'll try to negotiate things with our lead. I mean, I kind of don't want to pay her 2,000 gold, because then what's the purpose of doing this?
Yeah, I wouldn't pay her any money quite yet. We'll let you know what we can come up with, and then we'll
Okay.
decide there.
All right, I'll leave it to you. We'll be here.
All right, and fine work.
Oh, you know it.
I'm glad to see that.
She sort of twirls a dagger in her hands.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say that not being hired to work at our little tavern might have been a better decision for you than the other way around. I think you two are becoming quite strong.
Yeah. Well, it's had its advantages. And she kind of wraps an arm around Aubrey's waist.
Oh yeah!
Aww.
Aubrey, meanwhile, just kind of like pushes her away as she keeps trying to read.
Oh.
Oh.
I'm just glad to see friends doing well. It's a lot goes on in this realm, so it brings a smile to my face. Well,
Don't say it just yet, or we're going into danger together.
well, better say it now than I don't have a chance.
All
Anyway,
right. Well, it's good to see all of you.
yeah, yes. I'm gonna speaking towards the Blue Hearts. Well, if you wish to follow me or not, it's up to you. I think I need to meet with Jirok. Have a few questions, obviously now about this and a few other things as well. So I think I'm going to go there and see if I can find him.
Alright. Do we want to split up and...
It's up to you.
cover more ground?
What would you be splitting up? Where would you be going?
The water.
The water is days away.
Sissel wanders into the ocean.
Like, Cracker Citadel, in case you forgot, and is like in the center of the island.
Oh yeah,
Maybe there's a lake.
I
You
forgot.
can walk into the lake if you want to.
The actual harbors where they do a lot of their trade is like like a day south.
Yeah, for some reason, I kept thinking like, even though it was Cracker Citadel, for some reason I kept thinking like Umberlee's Embrace. Yeah.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time in the Embrace. So it was...
Yeah, it's just the Embrace now. Umberlee is no longer part of the name.
Yeah.
All right, well,
understandably.
I mean, if anyone wants to spend time with these two here, you can. Otherwise, I'm going to head that way. If anyone wants to join me, figure I should speak with him now and get it over with before I build it up too much in my mind and have a panic attack. So,
Do you want company?
it's sure.
Okay.
Though I'm afraid this time it may not be. We may not be meeting him with such an entertaining introduction. He tries to kill me with a knife.
Yeah, well,
Maybe
you
a little
know.
more boring this time.
I'm good at intimidating if you need intimidating.
Oh, I'm excellent. So I can also.
No, I don't think that'll be necessary this time. If he comes with me a knife again, then I've clearly misread how our relationship is faring at this point. Truly, relationship dynamics die a lot harder than I thought. Well, anyway, Goff will nod to Aubrey and Olive. Should see you again shortly. And I will make my way out and hike on up to the Citadel.
Yeah. So as you're leaving, Aubrey, so you didn't finish your drink. Oh, okay, more for me. And
Goff didn't even drink it. He just like sat down.
Aubrey, without even looking up from her book, just kind of waves to all of you.
Oh.
So you make your way out through the town, into the bustle of the Goliath, the activity of this Goliath city, and you make your way toward the grand pathway that leads up the cliffside over to the keep that overlooks the entire city. And as you are making your way up there, and you approach the grand entryway to the bridge that leads over into the keep proper, you see a couple of Goliath guards from the Crags Guard who are standing there as they approach, and they look at you with a bit of surprise, and they see your mask, and they step aside and they say, "Stillwater."
Is one of them that guy that I talked to last time? The guy who like I knew.
One
back
of them,
from...
yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh no, that guy, no.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering because the one I talked to before the first time I showed up here, before I talked to Jirok, that guy who like
No.
recognized me.
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay. Goff just kind of uncomfortably like, thank you, and just walks forward.
Okay. As you are making your way into the hall proper, you do see the captain of the guard, Gautam Cragbreaker,
Oh, Gotham. Yeah. Okay.
there as well, and he kind of is standing by one of the high windows overlooking the city, staring out. He kind of looks over in your direction. He says, "It's been quite some time."
Bit of a surprise, and so really, yes.
Here to see your kin.
What do you say?
Here to see your kin.
Oh, aye. Is he in?
He's with the ambassador.
Uh,
You can see him in the war room.
oh, okay. Where's that? Is that the room I met him in last time?
No, it's on the ground
Okay.
floor. He just kind of points ahead.
Oh, all right. Thank you. And I'll walk that way.
Okay. You make your way down the hall toward a large set of steel doors, and as you push them aside, you walk into this room that has a large map on a table. And standing on the other side of this map, you see Jirok in his customary cloaked myriad of furs and rings on all his fingers, and this simple crown that rests on his head, this golden circlet of the High King. And across the table from him, you see, not in an Arcadian military's office uniform anymore, but more of like a civilian's clothing, but it's still with an official look to it. You see Ambassador Tempest, the admiral that you had met before, the half-orc, half-Ganassi woman who's got the features of a half-orc, but with blue skin and sort of lightning crackling from her eyes a little bit.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
You can hear them kind of muttering to themselves as they're going over some things on the map. You see there's a map of Cragbreaker Citadel, or Ire Cragbreaker, the entire island. Actually, the entire Cerulean archipelago. And you see Jirok muttering to himself as he's pointing to the northeast. He says, "There's trouble brewing up in north again. We might have to send some of the men that way. Deal with some of the Grey Striders." Then he kind of looks up a little bit and he sees all of you into the room.
Goth got his arms folded. He's just looking at him.
Well, look at the cat dragged in.
No murder attempt this time.
I got more important things to worry about, sorry to say. Well, I'd offer to invite you and your mates for a drink, but I know that we don't have that kind of relationship, so what are you doing here?
Well, I apologize for the surprise. I thought, what kind of brother would I be if didn't keep you on your toes? But I had a few questions for you when you have the moment.
He kind of looks over at the ambassador, and she says, "Oh, don't stop on my account. We can talk about this when we get back." And he nods a little bit, and he says, "All right." All right. And he walks forward a little bit. He grabs uh, like a drinking horn that's been sitting on the table, and he kind of just takes a swig, puts it away, and walks toward you. And he says, let's take it to a private room."
Very well.
And he kind of pushes past all of you, and he walks out into the central, I guess, throne room, for lack of a better term. And he moves past that to a private quarters that's in the back
Okay.
behind it. It's just sort of like a waiting room almost.
Okay.
And he gets back there, he closes the door, he sits down. He kind of rests himself on some of the furniture, and he says, "Oh, take a seat and tell me what the High King can do for you."
King. Well,
Have to rub it in sometimes. Lord
I-
knows that Artur is never around for me to do it. Speaking of which, how's our other brother doing?
he's carrying on. He asks of Arcadia. He's he's handling it with the Cragbrick of pride. He hasn't turned into a gibbering little infant yet. But,
That'll come in time.
I occasionally will stop in to speak with him. I figure I owe him that much, even if he is a murderer and a genocidal maniac. I can at least talk to him, I guess.
Well, that madness will come in time, I suppose. As for Karia, she's busy herself these days.
Yes, how is she faring? Was one of the questions I wanted to ask more
Well,
casually, but
she's having some troubles. I will admit, I'm sure I don't know much about it. I'm not a holy person myself, but she's dealing with a lot right now. Losing her connection to the divine, trying to find another connection. But leading the people best she can in spiritual matters. She's actually up north right now, in the Isles, looking into some interesting ruins.
1 second. Let me look at the map again. The map. She's north? So she's not on the Ire, she's north
No,
of that?
she's in the Ire. She's like in trying to think which is the one. She's like in the northeastern section, which is Grey Strider Hold
Of the Citadel?
of the Ire.
But that's not on the map.
It's not on the map. No, I did not draw all the various holds.
Okay.
Because that was not known at the time when
Oh.
I drew that map. Like, you didn't know that those existed.
How far away is Grey Strider Hold? Do I know that? Probably
It's
not.
like a day.
Okay.
Day and a half, maybe.
Was it? What did you say she was doing? She was trying to lead people in spiritual
Looking into
matters?
Yeah, and he said that she's up there looking into some ruins that were discovered.
The black with green.
No, actually,
Oh, so they're not okay.
no.
What are they?
They look like they might be some ancient ruins related to our own people. There are a lot of interesting reliefs and mosaics, but she's still understanding them, deciphered them. A lot of them are ruined, but we're hoping it'll uncover some more interesting history of our people that we might have lost.
This is another question for Tom. Did we discover any precursor ruins on the Ire?
You did.
Where were they? I can't remember.
On Lesser Vokun, when you were on that island that was
Right.
with all the
There was the
Monster
lesser,
shit.
but I meant the big island, the one we're
No.
on right now.
Nope.
Okay. No. Okay. Oh well, that's a relief. Those you are aware of the ruins I speak of. Have you heard of them? The
I have.
ruins.
Aye.
They bear many dangerous and mysterious things. I'd be worried if there were ruins being uncovered here, but well, I'm glad to see that she's still trying to carry on. I've occasionally tried to give her suggestions through messages, but
I've encouraged her to take some time off, head to the mainland, see what there is to see, new perspective, but she's committed here.
whatever she wants to do. I'm glad that she's moving forward at least.
So we've kind of been beating around it a little bit, but you haven't quite told me what you're doing here.
Oh, I wanted to just ask about her first. That's all. I do have one more casual question, if you will.
Of course.
The Isles themselves, they fare well. They've improved and moved forward from what happened.
It's old problems linger, new ones. It's always been like this. Right now, the Grey Striders have gotten their hands on some weapons. We're trying to reel them in. Firearms have never been quite a thing here on the Isles, but trade brings weaponry, and we have to deal with it.
All right. Well, I just wanted to see how things were going. I did not anticipate coming back here as soon as I would, but as I did. But
you shouldn't have to worry about it. It's no need for heroes this time around. We have the support of the Arcadia military. We have a good relationship with them. He kind of looks over at Verna, recognizing your Arcadian military uniform, and kind of nods to you respectfully. So again, you haven't told me why you've come.
Two things. One, we are tracking down a fugitive. It is a Furbolg man who has broken out of Arcadian prison, a bounty. There are two individuals here staying in an inn nearby who are ahead on the lead that we are trying to work with now. He was supposedly left east on a ship, but was supposed to go to Ashea, but did not make it apparently. And we were hoping to try and find a captain, someone to take us to. There's a thought that he might be the ship might have been captured or gone down near these remnants of Orn's fleet. We were hoping to see if you knew anyone who was either brave or crazy enough to pilot a ship in that direction.
Well, there's no shortage of crazy among the Goliath folk. I'm sure you know that well.
Of that, yes.
We've been dealing with that as well, trying to knock out the remains of Orn's resistance. But it's been quiet of late. Strange. The ambassador is still discouraged us to get involved, but I do know someone. If you wish to just hire a small vessel, sneak in there.
That would be, I think, the ideal scenario, yes.
I'll call in a favor. Should still be in the city. Is a man, Arnulf Seafury. Should still be around. I'll have the Cragsguard summon him and tell me where you're staying, and I'll have him brought to you.
I think it will be the Somber Giant Inn.
Okay.
We will be for at least tonight. We're not here longer, but we're here for
very well.
That would be much appreciated. Thank you. So that matter. I'm glad that was an easy conclusion to come to. Secondly, on a completely unrelated matter, it is hard to explain, but there is something that I wish to investigate, and it's a long story, and I don't believe you have time to bother yourself with it, neither do these people. But I believe Eglig Cragbreaker is connected, an ancestor of ours, and I wish to speak to him again, if possible, or at least find a connection to him. Would you suggest I re-enter the tombs, or is there another way?
Well, you can certainly enter the tombs as a Cragbreaker who has been named. You have that right. So certainly I cannot forbid you from doing so.
Well, I wasn't here for your acceptance or approval. I was here for your advice.
Very well.
Is-
Yes, you can certainly
I mean,
head within.
you've spent much more time here than me. Is being able to commune with ancestors something I can go back and do? Is that?
Our ancestors are very talkative.
Yes. Okay. That's all I need to hear then. Then I suppose I must make a journey down there. I mean, no disrespect. I just have only been in the one time, and I did not know what was the proper channel to go through here.
You are recognized within this society now, whether you like it or not.
I'm aware, whether I like it or not. Very true. And
So you're free to do as you please.
was it your idea to build that statue?
Absolutely not.
That's what I hoped not. Made me sick.
Well, when you're
If I had
you
heard
say-
that you commissioned a statue of me, I would have never forgiven you for it.
when you save a whole people, brother, you tend to earn their gratitude.
I know. I don't know how to deal with this kind of attention. It makes me deeply uncomfortable.
I thought he was gonna say, I don't know, I don't like these people.
No, he's not gonna.
Goff's not that mean.
Yeah, I know.
It is an honor nonetheless. I don't know how to feel about it. All right. Well,
Well, don't feel anything about it. It's not for you. It's for them. The people here.
Goff stops and he folds one of his arms over and then puts his thumb up to his chin and he looks at Grok. He's like, "That is one of the wisest things I've ever heard you say. I think your daughter is rubbing off on you. It's a
Well,
good
something
thing.
has to.
Keep that going. Maybe we could have a conversation where I don't want to reach across the table and punch you for once."
Likewise. Anyway, is there anything else you need?
For you to carry on with the good that you're doing. That's all.
Oh, how kind of you.
And, for what it's worth, it was acceptable to see you again.
Just sort of,
don't get all lovey-dovey here.
you see like a small smirk kind of on the side of his mouth, and he just sort of nods to you.
That's exactly how I speak to my brother when I see him. You know, the good one, not the bad one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't family great?
Well, we'll get out
Can't
of your hair. We'll get out of your beard. That's all we really came to say. Unless there's anything else you wish to say, I think we'll carry on with what we have to do here and not bother you any further.
He nods. Well, I won't keep you.
My thanks. And I'll do a bow to Tempest.
Oh, she's not in the room. She.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We did the room, right? Well, I would have done a bow to her before we left this room then, because she's cool, and I want to
Yeah,
towards
because she looks cool.
Yeah. And then I'll just kind of put my hands on my legs. Well, I'll stand up. Until we meet rewind. Until we meet again. I'll just nod to him and.
Okay.
Turn to the group, say, "Well, I think I have to do a bit of a family reunion. So, I suppose we'll head down that way." And I'll make my way out of here, I guess.
Okay.
I'll skedaddle.
So you all
Yeah.
skedaddle out of the Citadel, make your way back out across the bridge out into the brisk, fresh Isles air once more. What do you wish to do?
I wish to go back to the tombs of my ancestors.
Okay. So you make your way down. Yeah, you make your way down the path. The tomb itself is It is embedded into the side of the mountain.
If I remember correctly, this is something I have to go in by myself or one other person with, or does it matter now?
You're a crack breaker. You can do what you want.
Here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna. Well, it's probably. I don't really know if I can bring everyone in. Why don't
Me, I can go in.
Yes, if one of you could come with me, and then why don't the rest of you go back and let Aubrey and Olive know we've got a connection and that we should be getting a captain soon.
All right.
And then I'll go and try and see if I can speak with Egley. So I'll go on. I'll go with Mido to go inside.
All right. So you proceed up to the doors of the tomb and you pull the loops, like you just kind of pull them aside, and these heavy stone doors that only a Goliath of ample strength could even move. And you just pull them aside, and the two of you step inside, and then you, from the other end, you close them in order to recede into the darkness once more. And as you step down the small stone steps that lead into the tomb proper, you come out into the first open area. You see a number of plaques on the wall that I'll say you saw them before as you were heading through. Various plaques that indicate who is buried here.
Before we go further any forward, any further,
Yeah.
exactly what was it that led me to believing that Eglig had this once possessed or had a connection to this gem? Just so I remember specifically the information.
I mean, really, only the fact that he was an
Eldath
follower
devoted
of your people.
Okay, that was basically that was my one lead for this. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I knew what I was going to talk about. Okay. Anyway, continue.
Okay, yeah. So you get down into this tomb, and you see a number of the plaques on the wall that indicate who is buried within the tombs itself. I'd say that you can probably make your way through the tombs proper until you get to the location where Eglig himself has been entombed, or interred rather. And
it's a lot more peaceful when you're not having your mind twisted and tested all the time all the way through. Having yourself, you're having to put your own neck in a noose. Watch your friends and their beloved ones die. It's a little bit easier this time.
So you approach Eglig's tomb, and you just see the actual stone sarcophagus there, where his remains would be. There's various reliefs around the tomb itself, like engravings and carvings depicting heroic deeds that Eglig performed.
If I look around the reliefs, do I see any symbology representing that gem, maybe?
Give me an investigation check.
Oh boy, my favorite.
I can help, but
Yeah.
What'd you get?
Does that mean advantage if you help?
Do you have proficiency in investigation, Mido?
No.
So
If you
no,
don't, then you need to roll
you
on your
cannot
own.
help. No,
Okay,
you can roll independently.
Well,
Whoa!
yeah, it's probably good that you do because I rolled a fucking 5.
Okay, so I'll say, Mido, as you're scanning these reliefs on the wall, a lot of them depict the pending battle between what was it, Eglig's brother?
Yeah.
Who was planning to poison and kill a bunch of the other leaders of the various Jarls that Eglig ultimately stopped. And you do notice on this tomb, there's one image of Eglig standing over the fallen body of his brother in a sort of a prayer position, and he's holding his hands in prayer. And you can see on the hand that is facing outward toward the mosaic, toward you, basically, there is a tattoo on that hand, and it's very similar in its form to the tattoo that Goth bears,
Oh wow.
the Mark of Eldath.
Oh, whoa.
And in the center, you spot what looks to be some sort of small stone, and it's giving off like rays of light.
Eyes emoji.
So while you're like eagle eye seeing this shit, Goff's over like in the
No,
dark.
you pointed out to Goff.
Okay.
I'd say, like, as soon as you notice, you're like, hey, Goff.
Yeah, no, I
Goff's
Okay.
looking at some cool moss.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, Goff, check this out.
And she does.
Goff,
No,
please.
she doesn't dare.
I know, I'm sorry.
Not yet.
Not yet.
You have to
Goff-
wait for
Goff-
the
You can't cheapen the dabbing.
appropriate.
Goff leans down and looks at it, and oh wow, I think we went in the right direction on this one, Mido.
Tap the side of my head.
Good eyes. I think it's better. Maybe it would be a little bit easier if I had two instead of one. Well, Goff takes a step back, kind of looks at all of it, and then he's like, "Well, I don't really know what to do now."
Touch
do
the
I-
stone.
Isn't it just a painting?
It's
Like a carving?
it's in like a carving in the wall.
What would that do?
I don't know.
I'll reach out and put my hand on it.
Okay.
No, I'm assuming nothing
It's-
happens.
It's cold to the touch.
Okay.
It's cool stone. You're in a
It's-
tomb.
It's stone.
Do I notice
mean-
what they're doing?
I mean, you're not. I think it was just
unless
Mido.
people. I mean, unless specifically
I walked away
people
for a
wanted.
second, so.
I mean, unless you really wanted to come in, Goff suggested everyone go. The rest of the group go back and tell Aubrey and Olive that we have a captain. But I mean, if you really wanted to come in, I
We
guess
have
you could.
Aubrey and Olive here?
I'm a dwarf.
Yeah.
I can tell stuff about rocks and whatnot.
I mean, if you want to be in there, I mean, when I said, why don't some of you go back? No, I think only Red said something. So like, if
Well,
you want to
I
be
was throwing trash. Wait, I don't remember this. So.
Okay. No, it's okay. Whatever you want to
I
do.
was wondering if I could use my lesser-known dwarf thing,
your stone cutting knowledge.
stone cutting, so I can try to see if there's anything I can discern from this with my fine dwarf skills.
Okay. What kind of roll do I want? I want to
I'll-
here's my-
Wait, it's a history check.
Okay, a history check.
It
Yeah.
says whenever an intelligence check is made for the origin of stonework, considered proficient in history and add double proficiency bonus. What the fuck?
You never knew this?
Okay, I knew that I could I thought I got advantage. I didn't know I got double proficiency. This is fucked up. Okay, hold on. I mean,
I'll say that-
expertise, basically.
I'll say that before we went in, Goff is like, actually, Haraith, there's some pretty cool stone shit in here. Why don't you come in?
alright. I'll come look at that. Okay, so
Cool
Alright.
stone, you say? Well, don't mind if I
Rocks.
do.
Okay.
Cool rock?
Rocks.
Dwarf.
Oh, rock.
Okay, this is gonna be real
Tiny
high.
people?
Alright.
This is a 26.
Whoa.
That's an intelligence check for me. Those are usually
Holy
very bad.
shit. Well, you did add
Right.
like plus 10 from your
Yeah.
double proficiency. So,
Do I
um,
notice anything about the cool rock?
I mean, the rock it's the stone relief of the actual engraved. Like there's I mean, you can discern that it was carved out of the actual rock of the interior of the mountain, and this was done hundreds and hundreds of years ago.
Yeah.
Like this does match up with when Egleg might have lived. It's fairly old. I mean, there's nothing special about the rock itself. It's not like magic. It's not unique in any way.
That's fine. It looks real. It's old. It's pretty good. Good carving.
Yes,
Your
beautifully
people
done.
certainly seem to enjoy carving in stone. That's pretty cool. Thumbs
Yes,
up.
I suppose our people have a shared interest.
Everyone's just
Yes,
goofing today. It's
Thumbs up. Well,
Good talk, everyone.
I-
And you said
It-
you were like, "Why am I putting my hand on?"
I mean, I still don't know why I put my hand on it.
Well,
It's very well made.
exactly.
Did you think that it was a button that was going
Yes.
up?
I thought maybe it would be a button. I don't know.
Well, as exciting as that would have been, and I'm afraid that this is a place of rest and honor. I don't think they're going to have secret passages in here. I don't think there's anything sinister
that.
about this place.
Well, it's not necessarily sinister to have a button.
Usually a hidden door means that there's something to hide. Usually that's nothing good.
Just be like a secret room.
Well, all that
I'm
aside,
just saying.
all right. All that aside, Goff kind of steps back and looks at like the tomb, like the whatever the
sarcophagus. Yeah.
and he's like, I don't really know what to do now. I don't know how to. I mean, it's one thing to speak with dead on a body, but how did I communicate with him before? They just kind of showed up.
He was just there. Yeah.
Well, I looked to. I guess is it just Harath and Mido who came in with me?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. I looked at him like, well, please don't make fun of me too much for doing this.
Never.
He'll just kind of step back and Eggleg, Cragbreaker. May I speak with you?
Hello? Oh,
You feel no
Hello?
response.
Okay. I don't know how to do this, and I should have asked.
well, what do you...
Make a religion check.
Okay. Ooh. That's a big number. 23.
Ooh, okay. Goff, I think you would get the idea that communing with the dead in this way, especially a people like the Cragbreakers, like the Goliaths, who are so connected to their ancestors in this way, would be very similar to how you commune with your deity, like finding a deep meditation and connecting in that way.
All right. Well, I didn't. Yeah. Okay. Goff just didn't know if it would be different because last time he came here, they basically just walked out and greeted him. So like, he didn't have to really do that last time. Okay. All right. Well, I think I have to go about this more in the way that I do with, spiritual things. So give me a moment. Have patience. I'm gonna kind of get down on to my on my knees sitting position, my hands on my legs, and take a deep breath, close my eye, and just sit there and try to reach out.
Okay. I want you, as you're focusing on this and trying to reach out through this otherworldly veil, you're in a place right now that is so... The veil between life and death is so thin because the spirits literally walk here to speak to their kin. I want you to give me a wisdom check.
Just a check?
Yeah.
So it's just my modifier, nothing else? 21.
21. Okay. You're sitting there for a while, slowing your breath, rhythmically timing yourself. Hiraeth and Mido, you're just kind of sitting on the side watching this. After a while, Goff, you don't necessarily notice this, but the two of you notice it is cold in this tomb, but it feels like it's getting colder, and you're all seeing your breath. And there's like a mist that is coalescing on the floor. And after a moment, you see this mist swirl up and then take a form. And out of this mist, you see sitting in a nearby stone, almost like a throne, at the foot of this sarcophagus, this scrawny, older-looking Goliath man with a short beard and his hair pulled back into a ponytail. He's got these white eyes with no pupils in them. And he's smiling as he kind of leans back. Mido, you know how like the Jarls would sit in Skyrim, kind of like
Yeah.
that. And he looks over at. He's looking down toward Goff, and he says, "I was wondering when we would speak again."
Can I like open my eye and he's
Yeah.
there?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh, we're doing this again.
Yes. Well, I honestly didn't know if I ever would speak with you again. But it is good to see you again.
I was here last time, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Mhm.
I waved to the.
He waves back.
Yay!
Young Stillwater, I sense your heart is troubled. You have
Well,
questions.
My heart is always troubled, but I have a specific question to come to you with. There is something, and again, thank you for taking time out of,
Yeah.
taking the time to speak with me.
I have all the time in the world.
I do want to say before I ask that hearing, I don't remember if I recall if I mentioned it, but hearing of your connection to our goddess, back when you told me, it brought me a great deal of hope I had not had before, and it really changed the direction of my path, and I just wanted to thank you for that. That knowing that there was more to the crag breakers than I once believed. That's all. It was a great appreciation that I had.
I am happy that I could do that.
Yes. Anyway, to the question. There is something that there are these relics that has been brought to our attention. Something that I think is deeply connected to me and my friends. These stones, and I believe that you may have possessed one of them once in your lifetime. And I hold up my hand in this tattoo, my left hand, with the tattoo on the back and towards him so he can see it. I think that something that you once bore on the back of your hand could fit onto mine.
He looks toward your tattoo, and though he doesn't have pupils, his eyes grow wide, and he holds up the back of his hand as well, and you can see a similar mark of Eldath on it, similar to yours, waving in the same way, alive. It is, however, it has a small gap in the pattern, similar to yours. There is nothing there right now. I know the stone of which you speak. It's a complicated thing to talk about, but from my understanding, it possesses the hopes and the dreams of all those who have held it before. And those who are considered worthy to wield it carry those dreams with them and those powers. If you have this tattoo, as I did, you must have been chosen.
Yes, it seems so.
The stone is no longer in my possession. It is not with my remains.
Have you any idea where it might be?
Likely passed on to another, and then to another. If you are the next to take it, then likely a trial will be prepared for you, as it was for me, to see if you are worthy of possessing it.
Trial? What?
By our goddess.
Oh.
I'm just watching it.
How did the trial come to you? How will I know? Is it something that I must seek out, or will she bring it to me?
It may be different for everyone. For me, I prayed and I fasted and I agonized over what to do for my brother, and then she guided my steps to ancient ruins upon which our people once told our history. And there I found a door that led us to her paradise.
This door. What was born upon it? The face of the
Number.
door.
There were a number of symbols, a number of depictions of my own trials and what I would face.
Hmm.
Sorry, the dots just connected in my head.
yeah. Me too.
No, I don't get it.
Are you being serious?
I'm serious. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm done.
okay.
The door
There's a
in
door.
the
There's a door we discovered a long time ago, like seed planted super early, and we found it underground, and we couldn't open it because we discovered that the way to open it was by a stone that Liza has, and
and on it was like a picture
It
of
was
like it depicted the gray man and the lady of change.
it depicted
Um,
it depicted is it what
it depicted them on a
individual.
mountain.
Here's the scene depicted: a group of individuals ascending a snowy path through a barren wasteland, while another cloaked figure makes off in the distance. A group of people surrounding what looks to be a giant, jagged block of ice on a mountaintop, with another shadow figure inside. A picture appears. Oh, sorry. The top is what appears to be the figure of a young girl with long black hair that covers her face. And at the bottom, a mural depicts two figures hand in hand, one a large male figure, almost giant-like, the other a female figure with what appears to be horns and a tail. They are holding hands as what appears to be harmonious music notes emanate from them. In the center of the mural is carved a circular object, which looks to be the depiction of a stone, and it glows faint.
Oh, I get it.
That shit was like at the beginning of the campaign.
That was super early.
That was
I
like
literally
first
Puppet
time
Master!
that was like
It was
the first
chapter
time we were on
2.
our way to the cross.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
It was only the second chapter. It was like shortly after the
The carnival.
Yeah.
And
so
just before Jack fucking dunked on you.
and I'm
Yep.
pretty sure
Hmm.
isn't the girl with the black hair, isn't that
That's
Ada?
Ada.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. As for the other three things, I don't think any of those have come to pass yet.
Nope.
I think didn't we have a vision of one of them?
Yes, you did. You had a vision of the one with the
The snowy
tiefling woman
path.
going up the snowy path and you
Yeah,
following her.
we had a vision, and then we tried to follow it, but we went too soon, and then the dragons killed us.
I remember that. Okay.
Okay. Anyway, getting back into the moment. I think I actually know what door you speak of. I believe I've seen it, but I'm not ready to enter it yet.
Well, you will know in time.
Yes.
The goddess will guide your steps as well, as they guided mine.
As she always has. I suppose that's now that I think on it, I've really just come here for you to confirm something that obviously I had yet to figure out, but it is good to know. This stone. When I come to bear it, should I do so? What weight does it carry? Does it bring aid or power that is terror? Is it terrible power? Is it benevolent power? Is it dependent on who wields it? Or
It is a power that is unfathomable. And it can work wonders, change the very world we live in. But it depends on who wields it, and that is why our Grove Mother in her grace has will put forth a trial to test your worthiness.
Well, I think that I am currently on quite a long trial of being tested, but I will face whatever she throws my way.
Well, then I hope you continue to walk in her light
I will.
and wait for her call.
I
He kind of nods and he smiles a little bit and he says, "It is good to see that the faith lives on."
I hope it continues to do so even after I am gone.
Be strong, still waters, and crash down upon your enemies.
When I must. Thank you, Eglig.
He nods and he lowers his head a little bit, and his form disapparates into mist again. And you are all alone in the tomb now with your companions.
Well, now we know where one of the stones is, or at least how to get to it. But I think we're still much time away from when we open that door. I'm sure by the time we go that way, we'll learn of much more of these other stones as well. Where to find them if we don't perhaps even find some along the way. Sounds like that we can't let whatever these are fall into the wrong hands.
All right.
I guess my friends are just completely shocked silent. So
I'm not here.
I'm not
I
there.
know, but the two that aren't saying anything. So
I
I'm just
don't know what to say.
Okay, well, thank you for your patience. That is my ancestor, probably my favorite. Glad as he's as kind as I remembered him. Well, I suppose we should make our way out of here now and catch up with everyone else.
All right. So as you leave the tomb of the Cragbreaker ancestors and make your way to rejoin with your party in your pursuit of your final bounty, that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Well, hail.
Yeehaw!
Howdy.
I'm glad I made it for the last half hour.
So, just so, I mean, you probably could gather roughly what happened, Mel. But basically,
I'm
we
assuming you used the teleporter.
well, we turned in
Gravik.
Gravik, and he was fine. He didn't do anything like messed up or try to escape. And then we got paid, and then Bowles told us about Aubrey and Olive, who were already hunting down the last bounty. And then I just sent them a message, and they're like, "We're in the Citadel." And I was like, Goff was like, we didn't say this out loud, but he was thinking like, well, we got to learn about this stone. I think that Eggley might know something, so we'll kill two birds with one stone. So we'll go to the. So we teleported there the next day. Yeah.
Funny joke.
And then we waited till the next morning to use the super teleport fuck up stick to go to the Craig River hole, and then Goff's aim was a little bit off, and we all appeared 100 feet in the air and had to use fly to not die. And then we went into the city, talked to Aubrey and Olive, talked to Jirok, and then
There was a monument to the Blue Hearts.
oh yeah, there's a statue of all the Blue Hearts that were there. Yeah, there's a wooden like carving of all of us.
Verna fucking dunked on the entire soothing hand.
Oh yeah, Verna had like a whole
It
ridiculous
was so
interaction.
funny.
She just fucking shit posted at the. She just like went and it was a living shit post inside of the fucking soothing hand.
Good.
She just fucking dropped a cursed weapon in the middle of a hospital. She's like, "I have a cursed weapon," and just dropped it. And then all the patients started freaking out. Verna was on her A game in there.
Good. This is basically like Jock bullying the nerds.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
she literally said
Yeah.
she was bullying them.
Good.
Alright, I'm gonna stop recording.